I'm Josh, the Dungeon Master and World Builder for our mostly decreasingly 5th edition D&D. Put it that way. The campaign name. It gets worse. And we have a full crew tonight, which is awesome. We have Grace playing Vera, the halfling crime boss, former crime boss, now grandmother to the crime bosses. Mary playing Almania, the former blue dragonborn bard, now blue raven folk. Not a long story. We'll get to that in a second. Raven folk bard sorcerer with a halfling living in her soul. Jenny playing Galena, the blue dragonborn, yes, monk, and Beth playing Shoji, the not a necromancer anymore, now revenant and all-around chaos destroyer. Yeah, cool. So we're just going to jump right back into when we last left our heroes. It had gotten bad.
DPK. DPK.
If you ask
Every time I'm gone.
The party had a plan to hunt down and destroy a bunch of cultists of the blood goddess that is spreading her influence across their home city. They had tracked cult activity to a large warehouse and sealed both ends of it with a variety of reverse lock picking, melting of locks, and then use of a wand of web to seal all of the doors. And then they set it on fire. It was an excellent plan. It was a really good plan. I was so proud of you guys. Unfortunately, the enemies immediately rolled quite well and broke down the doors and stormed out towards the party, who killed something. Well, actually, I have the exact numbers written down here somewhere. You guys killed a lot of things. Here we go. No, where is it? Doesn't matter. You guys killed upwards of a dozen cultists, one large composite creature that looked like it had been created out of the bodies of several dead people, and some kind of weird bone creature. And I think, Vera, you are currently holding its mask. This strange, grotesque, bony mask that fell off of the creature when you guys first killed it. But you guys were driven back into the alleys by the final enemy, another one of these weird composite creatures with blades sticking out of it all over the place, that is currently hunting you. It is too large to fit down into the alleyway. So when we open up, you guys are you're tucked inside an alleyway, a little bit away from this warehouse that is now up in flames. About 12 seconds ago, you saw a heavily armored, orange-haired elf go sprinting into the building, shouting something about, you fools, you'll destroy the relics. What else is happening? The air is filled with smoke because the wind has shifted direction, and so now the alleyways, there's just a thick haze in here. You're all able to breathe, but it is very dim, and it's difficult not to cough. Shoji's dead. She will return to life within 24 hours because, hey, Revenant. Beth, until that time, if you want to run Constantine, I think he's the only NPC still up. So, Shoji's dead, and your cleric Damya is unconscious. You are all covered in cultist blood. at some point when they knew that they weren't going to be able to kill you, they just started slashing open veins and arteries and hurling it at you guys. Galena, you have no key points left. Vera, you have no maneuvers left. Almania, you're bright blue. Were you here for that episode, or did that happen last episode?
I was here for that one.
Okay. Yeah, your wild magic has turned you bright blue. Constantine's Warhammer is damaged.
Are all of my spell slots done except for first level spells?
Yes, I think so. So yeah, check. Everybody should check your spells because we spent a bunch of your stuff. Vera, you have 1 point of exhaustion. Galena, you have 1 point of exhaustion. So, you're tucked into the alleyway. This is the situation. You can hear the remaining creature smashing into walls, trying to break through to where you guys are. You are still being hunted. You can also hear in the surrounding area people yelling for get the buckets, wet the houses, and general hubbub as people try to prevent the fire from spreading from the warehouse. I think I've got everything. So, Grace, question?
Question, just situation clarification question, because I don't remember. Is the one skull creature the only thing currently who knows exactly where we are and is after us?
No other enemies from what you can see have sight on you. So we're not opening in combat. So it is free form for the moment.
But
nobody else has sight on you.
Okay. I guess I should.
The creature that is breaking through the buildings is coming towards you.
Right. I guess what I was asking is there anybody else who we escaped from our fight that we need to be aware of, who might have run off and is in the area?
Other than perhaps the kobolds that took advantage of the. That's right. Yes. In the middle of the battle, kobolds took advantage of the chaos, burst out of the sewers and raided the warehouse as it was burning to the ground, and took out a whole bunch of meat and supplies while you guys were all in the midst of combat.
And I don't begrudge them that at all. I am delighted the kobolds got a haul out of that.
Other than the kobolds and the elf, none that you know of.
Okay, so the good news, people, is we only have to escape from one extremely powerful monster, but it's one.
So, you guys are in the alley. What are you doing? Shouts, screams, the roar of flames, and the smashing of infrastructure.
I assume in the last episode when I wasn't here and all of my spells were used that I didn't trigger any wild magic effects other than, me turning blue.
We completely forgot to roll, as we always do.
We did.
So, real quick, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, it will go off on an 8 or higher.
Okay.
Roll something good.
5.
Oh dear.
No. When you cast a spell.
Oh, okay. It's like in all of those. I didn't know. Okay, that's fine.
And then it
when
didn't.
you cast a spell this session, it'll go off on an 8 or lower.
Lower, I assume you meant, not an 8 or higher.
I'm sorry, 8 or lower.
That's fine.
All right, what are we doing?
So geography-wise, can we run down this alley away from said skull creature?
You can move through the alleys at the moment freely, but we do need to situate the bodies of Shoji and Damya.
I imagine that Constantine, being our big guy, is mostly responsible for carrying Sho.
Constantine can carry Sho, but he will be at half movement speed.
Right.
Could we
Pick off the monster slowly? Like, if it takes time for it to get closer to us, can't we, like, shoot it with long-range attacks until it's dead?
Unfortunately, this thing has like 500 hit points, as we've.
Oh,
Yeah, we do
no.
not have enough to kill it.
Oh, man, okay. So it's just
You've
run.
damaged it. You've damaged it quite badly, but you do not know, how many are left. Okay. With a splintering of wood and stone, you hear a fresh group of screams as it sounds like the thing has broken its way into somebody's home.
Yeah, we better run.
Right.
So just to clarify, who has Damya? Galena, what's your speed?
My speed is pretty good. I'm very fast, but I'm not very strong.
Would that affect that? As in, obviously her speed would be halved, but I feel like we should actually pick the fastest people to carry the bodies rather than the strongest.
The screams are abruptly silenced, and you hear additional smashing of wood and stone growing closer to you guys.
I just grab Damya and I just start.
Yeah, we're looking at down the alley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, weird.
We
However-
are going to.
Oh, I was just going to clarify that at least Vera is moving at the speed of the slowest person in the party. I'm not running ahead.
All right.
Actually, can I be in the back? Because as I recall, we're pretty much single file in these alleys.
We're gonna, in the alleys are only about 2.5, 3 feet wide. So there's really not a lot of space. So nope, you guys cannot go side to side. We're gonna run this like a skill challenge.
Oh, great. Because that served us so well on our last TPK, Josh.
Yeah.
So
That just never worked for us.
Vera and Galena, you both have disadvantage on all skill checks
Fabulous.
because you have a point of exhaustion each. So, of the people who are up and conscious, Constantine, Vera, Galena, and Elmania, who has something that they can do that they think will assist them in? I assume the target is getting back to the Mayweather stronghold and avoiding combat. So, who's got something that they would like to use that could boost the group or overcome some obstacle and assist you guys? Vera.
I would like to take advantage of the smoke, because now with my new feat, I can hide even in lightly obscured and like hide and essentially try and make noise and distract it, like fool it that we're going down a different alley, etc. But use stealth to do so.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what I meant from being the last one.
Yeah. Okay, so you're trying to lead it away from the party and just
Yes. And I can like run up walls, and if my stealth works, as long as I'm in the fog cloud, because I did this before in the battle where I ran up the wall and went behind it.
Okay. All right. Give me.
Ooh, even better. Can I run up the wall and go behind it and make it seem like we've split the party and that some of them are behind it?
Give me an intelligence stealth check.
Do I still okay? How does that change it?
That means you roll. How does that? How would you do it? Roll stealth.
Okay. And I have double proficiency for it.
So basically, you're going to roll stealth and then subtract one. Subtract.
Yeah, I think
two.
just one. So subtract 2 because my intelligence is 1 less than my
No, your intelligence is two less than your dex.
It's but stealth is oh, it is dex. Why does mine say wisdom? That is so weird.
Have you been rolling?
Oh
wisdom?
no. Regardless.
Okay.
I'm screwed.
That is a natural 1.
Yes.
Here we go. Dex. There we go.
Oh, then mine should have been better the entire time.
Okay.
Oh well. But that didn't
Uh,
add anything. I'm confused.
Because it was a 1.
Yeah. It still is something.
I mean, yeah. So it's a total of 9.
Yes.
Okay. You lead it. You lead it away. But in the fog, Vera, you lose the party.
Okay.
So the rest of the party, Vera has vanished. You do not hear the creature near you anymore.
Yes.
What? Oh God.
No.
Okay.
Okay, this is actually good.
Who has who that is still with the party wants to try and assist the party to get out of here?
Let's say, I don't know what.
I can try.
Oh,
Try.
what do you want to try? Give me 1 second. Beth, if you look in characters, Constantine is now available. You can click ownership, and then you'll have access to his character sheet. Elmanya, you got an idea of what you want to try to contribute to the skill challenge?
Right. So she used stealth. Right.
So Vera basically hid and is running around distracting the creature so that it kind of comes after her. So right now, you don't know where she or it is.
Okay. Can I use? You said it was full of smoke, right? Is it hard to see, like where we're going?
Yeah, you cannot see much more than 20 or 30 feet in front of you.
Okay. I want to use my acrobatics to like clear any obstacles in the way and find a clear path for everybody.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check. You do not have disadvantage because you never dropped. 18. Okay. Good. You guys find yourself kind of in a part of the neighborhood where a lot of the buildings are actually burnt out from some previous fire or collapsed, and Almanya leads you on kind of this tangled, twisted route through it. Not directly in the where you guys want to go, but kind of off to the side to throw off pursuit. And it sounds like a lot of the screaming and yelling and cultist activity, you guys have left it mostly behind. All right, Constantine, you got something?
Yeah. Can he use athletics to kind of like the opposite of what happened to like after we go like move things to block the path or like change the terrain, make it more difficult for the monster to follow us?
Oh, so you want? Yeah. Give me an intelligence athletics. So essentially it will be intelligence. Oh, it'll be an athletics check -5.
Oh, okay. All right.
I would so before you roll, because you're carrying Shoji's body, I'll let it be a straight.
Right.
I'll let it be a straight athletics check using strength, but with disadvantage. So it's your call. You can make an intelligence athletics check, so an athletics check -5, or you can make a strength athletics check with disadvantage. That makes sense?
Could I just hand Joe's body off to somebody while I do this? Like, here, hold this.
You
Cool.
can, but it's going to slow the party down quite a bit. Your Shoji's
okay.
body is quite large and heavy, and nobody else in here. I don't think anybody else in the party has a positive strength modifier.
That's hilarious. Oh, and your cat, yes. Okay.
Which one are
I'll,
you gonna try?
Modifier. It's a +1.
I'll take the -5.
Okay.
So ask for
Left.
intelligence. Hey, come on.
Nice.
Blood, yay.
One. Okay. You guys get even further away. Any sound of pursuit or anybody who might have been following you, you're pretty sure has been left behind. You are now in an unfamiliar part of the neighborhood. And Vera, who's the only one who actually knows this place, is missing. So, Elena, do you have anything that you want to do to try and contribute to this effort to get back to the Mayweather encampment?
If I got up high, would it increase visibility to help us, or is the fog too dense?
Rises. You're pretty much out of the smoke at this point. It is because you guys have basically taken a different direction. So you're not actually in the smoke anymore. But height would certainly help you guys navigate.
Okay, then I want to, because I'm an athlete and I can climb well, I want to climb up to see if I can like give us directions or see where we're going.
Okay. Yeah, give me an athletics. Is it athletics or acrobatics that you wanted to use? I'll take either one.
Acrobatics.
All right, give me an acrobatics check.
Just drag it. Work you. On by you way. Oh, do I have a disadvantage?
You do have disadvantage.
Okay. Second roll. Right, that's 14.
Okay, 14. Okay. All right, using Galena's just up and down building every 100 yards or so, you guys eventually correct and make it back to familiar territory, and before too long manage to get to the Mayweather encampment. As you arrive, and the familiar windows and hidden compartments in the sides of buildings open, crossbows are pointed at you guys. Whereas previously, you guys have been allowed in. They've recognized you. This time, one of the halflings, kind of looking down from a window, yells down, "Yeah, stop right there."
Hello?
Are any of you infected? Whose blood is all of that?
Whose
And we'll
blood
go
is
ahead and we'll pause right there while we go back to Vera.
Whose blood is all of it? Am I?
You guys are
It's
covered
cultists.
in blood that was hurled on you by the cultists. Basically, towards the end of the battle, when it looked like they weren't going to be able to actually stop you, they just started opening their own wrists and splashing blood all over you guys.
Oh, nice. I can just press to digitate away all of the blood.
So Vera, you are alone.
Yep.
You are in dense smoke. You are kind of crouched down in a corner, and as you've been kind of leading this thing around, you have realized, even when you are making no noise, it knows roughly where you are.
Okay.
It has some sort of supernatural ability to locate you.
Okay. But the good news is it did what I wanted it to do. My party's away. Do I know that? That it's after me?
You know yeah, I'll give you that. You know they're away.
Okay, good. Then I am going to, let me see. I'm going to try and get high again and go up to a roof.
I'm sorry.
I
You're
do mean
out
red.
of breath. You used your last thing of red. Yeah. Okay.
I mean it the way that Jenny said it this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and
Vera,
go for-
you are going to do. You're going to be on your very own skill challenge here. So.
Oh dear. Can
Give me.
Because essentially, can I tell you my plan before you make it a skill challenge?
Sure.
It's to get higher, so I see pretty much exactly where it is if I can get out of the smoke. Because
Okay.
I do know this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also this might be a bit of a negotiation, but pretty much this situation was my life for 100 years. Like being pretty much on my own, running from a vastly overpowered enemy in territory that I was familiar with, and that was my only strength. And me, essentially, I'm going to try and go to ground and break line of sight. I know it's supernatural. That's the only issue here. And wait it out.
This thing does not need line of sight.
It does not need line of sight. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I plan to outmaneuver it. And go back into. I do not want to lead it back to the Mayweather complex, though.
Okay.
Remind me, we are in the northwestern corner of the city.
You guys are in. Which one would work?
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do.
Do you have a map up?
I don't, but I'm heading for the Angels territory. I'm leading this thing straight into Angels territory. Stupid tieflings.
Yeah.
They wouldn't join my team.
That's right there.
Yeah. I'm luring this thing until it rampages into the tieflings. I'm sorry, tieflings.
All right, I hear your argument. You may have oh, Mary's not here.
Basically, I just want to like cancel my disadvantage and
You're not
roll
gonna
straight.
Disadvantage, but I will give you inspiration on these checks.
Sweet. Thank you.
So, D10 at 10th level. Okay, so you can add a free D8 to these checks. So,
Awesome.
move number 1 is get up high.
Get up high, and essentially, I'm going to try and stay.
Athletics or acrobatics?
It's going to be acrobatics on this baby. Okay. Please stop rolling like crap. Here's my D8. Oh, it didn't register.
Yep.
Ah, sorry.
So 11?
So 11.
Better than a 6.
Better than a 6.
Okay.
If I was near you, I'd give you more inspiration and temporary hit points. I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's okay. I did what I wanted to do.
Okay. Vera, you get up high and you start booking it north.
Yes.
The thing is tracking you on the ground. You can hear it skittering across the larger roads, and you hear the screams of people it passes. And so you're tracking it by sound as you're kind of leaping from one roof to the other over narrow alleyways.
That's exactly what I want to do. Is I want to stay on roofs as I go. And so I'm hopping roof to roof. Let me see. Can I roll a perception to become even more pinpointed as to where it is? Can I start to see it once I leave the smoke?
Good. Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check with disadvantage. Plus a D8.
Cool. Come on.
Oh,
Here's my D8.
You're killing me.
How many ones have
but
you?
it's 18. It's freaking 18.
It's 18. All right.
Come on. Give me that.
Can she succeed in a way where it looks like she failed, like it looks horribly embarrassing, but she still succeeded?
See, just make the one embarrassing.
So Vera, as you're running,
trip.
listening carefully, you lose track of kind of where you're moving, and as you kind of jump, you land oddly and twist an ankle.
Ouch.
But right as you do that, you kind of fall and you tumble right underneath just a scything limb that comes swinging as it blows through the roof underneath you. So, I'm going to give you another point of exhaustion. Your movement speed is halved, but you are not in combat with the thing. You kind of tumble down into an alley and catch yourself.
Sweet.
So, Vera, you have 2 points of exhaustion, so you have disadvantage on skill checks, and your movement speed is halved.
Cool. How far? Oh, wait a minute. It probably won't help. Never mind, because it doesn't track me based on sight. Never mind. How far am I from the angels?
You've got 2 more checks to attempt.
Alrighty.
One way or the actually, I'm sorry, maximum of 3, because you've got 1 success and 1 fail so far.
Can I use stealth again? Am I allowed to do that? Because it's technically a new skill check.
Yeah, it's a 1-person challenge. So as long as there's some variation, I'll allow stealth again.
All right.
And this time straight dex, because you're just trying to hide.
Or I'm trying to like see a route that I can take where I can be more stealthy over these rooftops, where I won't be so obvious. Especially because it's right here.
Yeah.
Like try and confuse it enough so it's not quite exactly aware of where I am as I jump away.
Okay, yeah. Give me another intelligence stealth check.
Okay, so it's going to be this minus the 2. Come on! Is this even possible?
This is absurd.
Plus the 5, so it's 14.
16.
No, because it's minus 2, because you said it's intelligence. Which I don't understand why you're making it intelligence, but I'll let it be intelligence.
Right, because stealth, right, a dexterity stealth check is about not making noise. Noise doesn't really matter here. Right now, you are specifically trying to distract and confuse another creature
by flipping out of its way using dex,
rather than actually like hiding, because it knows where you are.
Right. So it's 14.
Okay, 14.
Is that a failure or a success? What's the DC?
There's another close call, but you managed to escape, and it is right behind you.
So I've got 1 failure and 2 successes?
Two failures, 1 success.
Okay. Alrighty, then I will try and do insight to see sort of where it's going to try and swipe at me next and avoid that next hit.
Okay, an insight check.
Ooh, for once it wasn't a 1. It's a 17.
17, okay. Okay. No longer trying to distract it, just trying to get out of there and predict where it's going to be. You can hear it now on the rooftop, and you're the one kind of down in the alley, kind of ducking around. You managed to get a little bit ahead. Last check.
Okay, I'm gonna do something insane, but it's the only other skill that I have some sort of proficiency on. Okay. I'm going to run into one of these buildings and persuade the people who are in there to let me pass, hoping they'll be just civilians, and just say, like, keep it quiet, let me go through your building and keep on going.
Okay. Yeah. What are you saying to persuade? How are you approaching this?
I am going to quote a little bit of Almania's song and say, I'm here for the city, let me pass, and I will be back for everyone.
Okay. Seeding poetry into your speech as you can hear this thing like digging down through the roof.
I quote Almania's catchiest line, whatever it is, from her hype up Les Mis song.
Yeah. Do you hear?
I'll say, do you hear the people sing?
Yeah,
Persuasion check on that. So give me a persuasion check.
it's now the most popular song in the entire world. So
Exactly. Exactly. And yes! Okay, hang on. Let me add my D8. It's only 16, but still.
that means I
Okay.
remember the words of it.
Vera, you basically just like dive through a window, kind of roll up, limping on one leg,
Covered in blood, covered in soot.
covered in blood, and you look around at a room with like 5 city guardsmen in it, and you call
Okay.
that out, and they're confused, and it's just like. And they kind of look up at the roof, hearing also whatever the hell is coming down. Grab spears, shields, start running up the stairs towards the next level, and you hear the clattering of bone on metal and screams and shouts, and you are able to then slip out of the area while they are busy with it.
While I quote Lord Nelson to them and I say, Anna sure expects every man to do his duty. And then I keep on going.
Okay. You are out of immediate danger.
Cool. Did I sick a monster on the tieflings, which was also half of half of my intention here?
Well,
I'm awful.
I know how many hit points it had left, and I have stat blocks for city guardsmen. So at some point later, I'm basically going to figure out what happens with that. But okay.
Cool.
So you guys are at the entrance to the Mayweather camp. Elmania, you're just prestidigitating the blood off?
I'm
Okay.
pressing to take blood off. I'm like, it's fine. We're fine.
Okay, you take a few minutes, clean everybody up. One of the halflings kind of approaches you guys, kind of looks you over. How long ago did you sustain these wounds and get all of that blood on you?
How long ago was it? Like 20 minutes ago in my mind? Short.
Yeah, something like 20 minutes.
It was like 20 minutes ago.
All right. Oh wait, hang on. I'm sorry. This is a Mayweather halfling. But I can't let you into the camp. So the area is pretty safe, as well, safety goes here. So I need to stay out here for a few hours, and we'll see if any symptoms show up.
Okay, but if anything comes and attacks us, you will help defend us, right?
Well, I mean, we'll shoot arrows at it.
Fair. That's about the best I can probably hope for at this point. Okay, that's fine.
All right. You guys do have the opportunity to take a short rest if you like, as you're kind of stuck out here because it will be a few hours. That gives Vera time to kind of creep her way back. So about an hour into your rest, Vera comes like limping into sight.
Mom!
Blood.
I'm like wiping like a bloody nose. Like, but you see, like, I have this big grin at the same time. Like, really white eye whites and really white teeth and a blackened soot face.
Oh yeah. Oh, she is. Yeah, just covered in soot.
Well, you look like you went on quite an adventure without us.
Oh, lovely. This is the old days. Is it? I've come to the conclusion that I probably am not the best person, but is it truly terrible that I rather enjoyed that?
Your things.
Just like the old. Is everybody all right? Can I go to Damia and see if she's starting to wake up?
Oh, that's true. At the end of a short rest, yes, Damya is now conscious, and she just kind of. Oh, we're still in hell. Excellent.
And with that in mind, Damya, my dear, when I ask you to perhaps remove yourself from the core of a battlefield, perhaps next time you might do it?
Sure. Yeah. Might have gotten carried away.
Perfectly all right. We live and learn. And fortunately, we all lived, except for Shoji. And I'm gonna go over and like try and make Shoji's
Okay.
golem form more comfortable, like put a pillow under it or something.
All right. What is the plan? Actually, I guess. Does anybody want to do anything in particular during the break, or?
Roll some hit dice.
Okay. So yeah, you guys can roll hit dice. Your maneuvers, I think, come back on a short rest.
Sucked.
And no wizards. Okay. Who else? Is it druids? Druids have natural recovery. No druids. No arcane. Okay. No spell slots back.
Ma, if you had told me your plan, I had a potion of invisibility that I could have given you.
Oh, actually, I had one as well, but as it turned out, this thing, whatever it was, it appeared to be tracking me based on not just sight. So I don't know how much good it would have done. But it's a good sort.
Terrifying.
Yes, I tried to stick it on the tieflings. I don't know if that actually worked. But
Great, Ma.
instead- yes, well, you know, might as well get rid of another, well, not enemy, but not a friend. But in the end, a few of the city guards came through for me, and I don't think I've appreciated them as much as I should.
Mm.
That perhaps some of them really do have the city at heart, rather than the city's rulers.
Good to keep in mind, yeah.
Yes, I wonder if getting into more contact with them might actually be a sensible idea.
Yeah, we definitely could try.
It's at least more troops on the ground, and they're in almost every district, I do believe.
Yeah. You know, not a bad idea, especially as we're kind of running into timelines, you know?
Mm. That actually is a question there, Josh. Is the city
Yeah.
guard working for Sam Valhane? I assume they were.
The city guard, it essentially goes merchant council, regulators, and then city watch. So yeah, they are trained and paid by, in one way or another, by the city. Sam Valhane is a member of the council, but he is not, king or anything like that.
Right, but he's essentially running a lot of the show, as we have seen. So cool.
Yeah. Organizations. Here we go. Regulators, guards. Yeah.
Good. So yeah, if we could discuss with some of them their actual loyalties, that might be a useful thing to do.
Okay. At the end of the short rest, Almania, Galena. Well, I don't know what this would look like on Almania. Galena, Damya, and Vera. You develop faint bruising at all of your joints.
Crap.
And Almanya, you're covered in feathers. You can't really see bruising. But Almanya, your elbows, your knees, your ankles are all quite tender. So you four are currently infected with the red harvest.
Great. And as we've determined, unless you have a high-powered healer, there's nothing you can do about it.
You have determined nothing except that once you progress, from what the Legion told you, Vera, when you had it, when you had progressed to the second stage, it needed essentially greater restoration at that point. You,
Right.
The only thing you've seen of it at earlier stages is that, you know, Sam Velhane had a potion that cured Cormier, and that there are cures, not cures, that ash bark basically put it on hold. It didn't cure it, but it put it in stasis, essentially.
Right. And how long does it take to progress to stage 2, since we've only had this for 2.5 hours?
You don't know. You progressed pretty quickly
That's what I remember.
when you had it the first time.
Right.
Remind
Do we
me,
have access to ash bark?
All right, there's two things.
I was gonna say, remind me, is it contagious?
Yeah.
Like, right, but like, how is it contagious?
From what you have heard, bodily fluids, primarily blood. It's not like there's extensive testing to figure out, well, you know, will saliva do it, or, but you know it is transmitted through blood.
All right. Sorry, Galena, what were you saying?
I was saying, so you've used ash bark? Is that what you said?
Pause it.
Galena, not Galena. Way earlier on in the story, and the party would know this, Cormier contracted it, and they used ash bark to basically delay the progression of the disease for a while.
Do we have any of this?
The only ash bark that you guys had access to was you used up the last that Talia's mother, who was a healer, had. And Almanya managed to get some from the Dragonborn embassy, which, from what you've heard, has been abandoned.
They were fun. That was a fun time, actually.
But that suggests that if their building is abandoned, their supplies might still be there. Especially something that they didn't know was useful. Is it common knowledge that ash bark is useful against the disease?
No.
Okay, so there might still be some at the embassy.
But they definitely, I doubt they left in a hurry. They probably had some time to like think and leave, and so they might have packed up everything.
They might have, but we don't know.
That's
Especially if they were not aware that this was useful in this particular situation.
Very true.
It just would have been random medical supplies.
Yes, agreed.
Well, I would be willing to go scope that out if you guys want to be planning other options.
Right. Well, clearly we cannot set foot in this complex, and I entirely agree with my son's.
Yeah, you guys will not be able to stay here until that is cured.
Fortunately, sorry, there's a lot of feedback from my voice that I'm hearing. Anybody else hearing that?
I'm hearing it too, yeah.
We're getting a little from you.
Okay, I don't know if it's my mic or someone else's mic. Oh, there it stopped already.
Yeah, it seems to have cleared up. Go for it.
Well, we do have another place to stay, and fortunately, since we're all infected, we can all stay where I have placed my son.
Oh, that
You
is
put
true.
your son in a tiny, like, bolt hole cellar.
I put him in a safe house, yeah. But what else is around that safe house?
Various. I mean, it's a residential neighborhood.
So yeah, we might be able to go there and find spots for all of us in that block.
What about, so the greater healing is useful for the greater progression, but since it's in the early stages, what about like a minor healing, like down the hour? Wait,
Yes.
it's not right.
You kind of cut out there, Beth. I could not understand what you said.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the greater healing is effective against the greater progression of the disease, right? But what about, since it was just contracted, is there like a lesser healing spell we could try?
Lesser restoration?
Mhm.
Yeah, what's it called? Minor restoration?
Lesser restoration, I think.
Oh, lesser. Yeah.
Yeah, does Damia have that, or anyone we know?
Damia speaks up. I'm trying to find where I wrote down her spell slots and which ones she expended. But Damia does say, I have something that might help. I not tried it on this particular disease before.
I suggest if you do want to experiment, that you do it on yourself first.
Damia is. Oh, she is. It's like Damia's not in. Yes, she is. Well, I suppose that would make sense. All right. That's 1 second level left. So she's going to cast Lesser Restoration on herself, and where's my list? Is all right. So I got to figure out how this works. So feel free to discuss amongst yourselves.
Well, barring that, if it doesn't work, again, we are slightly aided in perhaps the fact that not many people know that ash bark is useful. So if we go to the embassy, if we just go to various apothecary shops that might be abandoned throughout the city, we might be able to find a small supply.
Well, last time it was really hard to get our hands on. I had to go and pull a bunch of favors to get it. So I don't know if we'll be able to find, like, outside of the embassy, I don't know if we'll be able to find any. We can look though, but we again have to be careful where we're looking, because apparently the whole city wants to kill us. So, you know.
Right. Or we could also just, I know we can't enter the complex, but we can at least communicate inside to just get as much information as we can get on the disease, because clearly the people here have much more experience with it than we do.
Also true.
Yes, and I assume that some healers have been, I don't know, researching it since it first began.
How do the people who give us the red harvest, how are they still alive? How are they not dead?
I imagine they are dying, but that is my assumption. But Samvalhain described it as the goddess's gift to them. So it could also be that the cultists in particular are carriers, but the goddess protects them from death.
So, Vera, from your discussions with the Legion way back in Westershire when you had contracted it and were learning about it, the red harvest doesn't kill. It transforms.
And why is my son dying?
He isn't.
So it zombifies you?
It depends. Most often, you turn into a ghoul.
Right.
I'm
So,
scared.
yeah.
Am I scared of myself?
You're not a ghoul yet.
Are you scared of yourself?
You're killed by a ghoul last time, remember?
Oh, I see.
I imagine if you get to a certain stage, you'll be scared of yourself.
Like, oh my god, look down at my hands and be like, oh!
I give myself the willies.
Yeah.
What would a ghoul out of a raven folk look like?
I don't even know. It would
A
be
weird, like, molting bird.
Yeah. Oh, that's unpleasant.
Okay.
Oh, for anybody who's played Dark Souls 3, probably look like one of those. Anybody here? No.
I have not, but tell me anyway, and I'll look it up.
A
Never
little.
mind. In one of the DLC, there's all of these like crow people who are sick and diseased, and they look awful.
That's terrifying.
Yep, I'll find a picture and share with you guys, just
Please.
so that you can know what to look forward to. So Damia is casting Lesser Restoration on herself.
Unfortunately, a lot of our plans will depend on that, I feel. How successful that is.
Yeah, because if she can take care of it, then we should be okay.
The bruising at Damia's joints recedes significantly, but is still present.
So she can slow it.
So after kind of taking stock, she says, well, it hasn't gotten rid of it, but it no longer hurts. I think if I could do this multiple times quickly, that might do it. But unfortunately, I am tapped for today.
Yes, we would have to wait until morning. May I suggest a very difficult conversation that, with that information in mind, needs to be had quickly?
Sure.
And that conversation is, how many second levels or spell slots does Damia have overall?
She can do that.
Because she can upcast too.
She is a 7th level cleric, so she could cast that a total of 7 times.
7. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 of us. Am I correct? I'm confused about how many NPCs we have with us.
Yes, 4 of you are currently infected.
Cool. And Sho is immune, so
Also, yeah.
Dead, so she's very immune.
yes. And at the moment she's very but does Damia assume, I can ask her too, does Damia assume that it would take 2 per person of Lesser Restoration?
She's not sure.
Right. So the difficult conversation that perhaps will need to be had, obviously Damia will need to rest, and we cannot conduct this, shall we say, experiment until morning. What order of us will get these treatments? I personally put myself on the back end of that order. I am much older than all of you, and I've already done this once.
But Ma, you are kind of our ticket to surviving with your family.
Oh no, I can leave them requests. And I assure you that my sons are reasonable men, and so are my grandsons. Well, one of my sons is completely insane. My remaining son is a very reasonable man, and my grandsons are all equally reasonable men, and they know that you are their ticket to surviving this city. So,
Do they have access to Lesser Restoration healing magic?
no, because clerics don't exist.
Beth, real quick, is it possible to get closer to your mic? I think when you're that far away, when you're talking to you, it's really muffled.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better?
Better. Yeah. Because I think the issue is right that like Damia is the only cleric in the universe right now, except for our old buddy back in Bream, except for Callista.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, you know where she is, but-
And is all those restorations? Those are exclusively cleric spells.
The only healing magic that any of you have had any experience with outside of the legions is the rare person who is just insane or stupid enough to believe in something strong enough that they can heal. It amounts to setting bones and healing them faster than a bone would set on their own, and curing minor cuts. And if you got stabbed through the abdomen, they could probably save you. But also, that scares people. In Shoji, Vera, Elmont. Yeah, I mean, you guys are all from the republics. They're the republics. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, they tend to keep really quiet.
Yes. So I think Damia is our best shot, our only shot.
Mechanically speaking, you have never seen higher than a first level healing spell other than Callista and Damia. And Gary.
Yes. So again, the difficult conversation, I think quite clearly Damia is you, my dear, our priority to be healed of this thing. And again, I will put myself at the end of that queue, so to speak. But make your cases.
How long do we know? Sorry, I know you said this before, but I just completely blanked on it. Do you know how long it takes to reach the next level of?
It varies. Some people recover, and then other people progress. You can recover from. Nobody who hits the second stage ever recovers.
So
And
we
there-
can see.
There isn't like a parenthetical median timeline for that, or like when people hit the second stage.
Oh, you're talking about an average?
Mhm.
I don't have statistics. I have DCs.
And how many
It's
days do I have?
Constitution saves.
How many days do I have left to level up?
A few. I think without training, 4 more days.
Because I can get lesser restoration. Is the
It'd
thing.
be handy.
I have been waiting because I can get sending and lesser restoration if I just fucking leveled up at this point.
We have been level
actually-
6 for very long.
Actually, Almanya, lesser restoration is not on the Bard spell list in Gebrecan.
Great. Fabulous. Then I can't do anything. There's all my plans. Okay. I have no idea.
So perhaps we'll do it based on progression, as in the persons who are progressing the fastest will get their treatment first. That seems fair, especially as it will change depending on the person.
How do you feel, Vera? Because you told me you've had this before. How do your bruises compare to ours?
And she isn't like immune to it? That sucks.
Well, I roll my constitution checks with advantage. That's the mechanical difference. But I think I failed it last game then.
Yeah, Vera, I think 24 hours, and you actually got like full swelling tumors in your joints.
Yes.
It's only been a couple hours for you. So those what are currently manifesting as bruises will gradually swell into blood-filled tumorous sacs.
In terms of the mechanics, I think what had happened was I epically failed my Constitution saves, which is why it was super fast the first time.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
yeah, it was pretty quick.
It was pretty gross. Yeah.
Ew.
So all we got to do is, I don't know, give each other lots of bardic inspiration and guidance, and do our con saves.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So are you guys heading out? Are you guys heading to Galena's Inn, or to like kind of find an empty house near Gideon? What's the plan?
I'm going to go to Gideon now, just because now I can without much concern. I'm
Okay.
going to go sit with him.
Is
Please go ahead.
is the inn still safe? Did I misremember that someone had discovered us there and we had to leave?
Both Talia and Atian have been there, and
Yeah.
and know that you guys have used it.
Yeah,
Okay.
come with me, everybody. Come with me.
Let's go not there.
Yes.
Okay.
However, we're just right outside the complex right now.
Yeah,
I
you
assume
guys
we're
are basically standing there. The guards are half listening to the conversation, half scanning the
Yeah.
streets around.
All right. So there is after our experiences with Talia in particular, there's a reason that I took my son someplace that only I know. And I have now told his wife as well. So there are two people on this earth who know where my son is right now. I am trusting every single one of you standing here before me to be who you say you are and with the intentions that you have stated. Can I look around at all of them and make a very, very important insight check?
Sure,
With disadvantage, because
with disadvantage.
blah. 'Cause they tried to kill my kid already. Ooh, dang. 21 with disadvantage.
All right, and you are trying to see whether any of them is not who they
Flinch.
say they are.
If any of them flinch or give any sign that they're doing this weird mind control thing that has happened in the past.
None of them appear to be hiding their identity.
All right. Let's go. We can't all fit in the room with my son. That's rather small, but I can find us lodging in the areas around, I think. So I take them. It's not that far away. I don't think it's like half an hour away from the complex.
Right? Who would like to roll a d12?
Oh
Alright,
God.
I'll do it. Deep breaths. 2.
You guys gather up your stuff, and well, your stuff. Constantine shoulders Shoji's body. Damia at least is moving under her own power now.
Let's all protect the cleric.
you guys all form a ring around Damia.
Yeah.
And you guys continue through or walk through the city to. So yeah, they're really Vera. It's a very small cellar. So right, there's enough for a cot and like you to sit in a chair, and that's about it. But you guys can kind of search around in the area. It's not too difficult to find an abandoned house, or at least mostly abandoned tenement, where you guys can basically hole up.
I'm going
Okay.
to stay with Gideon overnight. I might recommend, even in this neighborhood, perhaps have watches during the night. We're in essentially enemy territory. So, with that in mind.
Okay. Vera is staying the night with Gideon. Is anybody doing anything particular, or are we taking a long rest?
I'll just take first watch.
Thanks.
Time until night, or is it night?
No, it's not night. It's like late afternoon.
Okay.
Oh,
Can I take a
hang.
can I take a few hours and keep practicing my music and towards leveling up, and then
You can. I will warn you. That will
aggravate the sickness?
You're trying to hide. It's right. You're basically trying to create a safe space in which to hide.
Okay, then I will write lyrics.
You could do silent fingering.
Yeah, I'll do what
We all did in band.
I used to do with my viola sometimes, where you're kind of like, you're tapping out fingers on like nothing at all because you're just trying to get the motions down. Yeah, there's lots of ways of practicing that could be silent when you're doing music.
I will let everybody. Yeah, you can all practice
Yes.
And develop.
I'm like
Right.
fiddling with locks.
All right.
I want to meditate when I'm not watching.
It works, right? It's first half of the day, almost get killed, accomplish something, learn something. Second half of the day, train. All right, recover. Next day, again. I did not mention this. I don't remember who was actually present. You guys did find out that the next full moon
Just about to ask.
is the final one. It's not the last full red moon, but right from what Benji has told you, right, every full red moon there are large assaults and ghoul incursions in the city, and lots of people go missing. What you found out from the cultist was that the full red moon, the next one, is the final assault designed to basically overthrow the city.
Great.
I don't remember who was there. That wasn't last session. That was the one before it, I think.
Yeah, I was
I
there.
don't remember.
Yeah,
And how many days away?
You guys set off to figuring it out. I
We
don't
talked
remember.
We figured it out because I have it in my notes. We talked to Oth, and Oth figured it out.
Okay. So Oth told you that it is on the third of resistance. So that is, you've got tomorrow, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is the night of the fifth day. So you've got 5 days.
Just enough days for me to level up.
Which, I mean,
I know.
Given that I did not like plan when you guys that you guys were going to be like gone and then like come back now, the timing works out remarkably well.
It's true.
That being said, we should also during those 5 days like try and take out more strongholds to make this assault less awful. We can't spend the whole time training, unfortunately.
Yeah, Benji has made it abundantly clear to you guys that the city can't take much more.
Yeah.
And at the moment, they are hemmed in on all sides.
Yes.
So your position is far from strong.
And do we have any indication that that little raid there was useful?
Not really. I mean, you're carrying the mask of this creature.
Oh yeah. Can I examine that thing?
Sure. Yeah. If you want to spend some time this evil.
It is evil.
Freudian slip right there. Yeah, you can spend some time with it.
I will.
Good. So yeah, so you guys know that basically in 5 days, the city is lost. Yeah, what are you doing with the mask?
Well,
Again, it's right. I mean, imagine right, just kind of this part of a skull, just kind of the middle part with the eye sockets and the nose, with two very large bony ridges that kind of go up and then flare out and curl around to the base of the skull.
can I examine it from a position of, over the course of our many adventures, becoming at least a little bit more familiar with arcane things? As in, do I see runes etched into it? Do I see, is this an inherently magical device?
Just looking at it, the mask still has like 2 red pinpoints of light in the eye sockets.
That's not good. So in other words, yes, definitely magical. Can I roll a very, very poor arcana check to examine what kind it is, like what it's connected to?
You have no like frame of reference for this.
I have +2 to arcana.
Sure. You've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, but I can make assumptions, I guess, based on stuff that I've seen. No, I don't. But it would have been good if I weren't exhausted. Do I get a sense from it that it's still watching me, as in it is being tracked?
The pinpoints of light do not have pupils that move and focus. They are simply present, hovering in the eye socket.
However, I've just had a weird experience with one of these things where quite clearly it could magically track me. So do I get any sense from that? Did I get a good look at that thing's eyes?
Knowing that the thing could track you basically came from interactions where you made no noise and it could still pinpoint you. That was more of a deduction that I gave you kind of as you were interacting and trying to trick it. You don't have that kind of interaction here. All you see is a bony mask with pinpoints of red-orange light in the sockets.
Okay. Alrighty.
Well, if anybody has any specific skill or spell or feat or talent or something that they think might let them communicate or investigate better, you are welcome to use it.
Yes, I will show it to everybody. What's up with this?
Let me see.
Did we try to destroy it?
I almost feel like it might be useful, like it's an artifact.
Can I ask Liliana? Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, if Liliana knows anything about it?
Yeah, if she has she has a lot weirder experiences than I do. So I figure I might as well ask Liliana what she thinks. Be like, hey, any ideas?
You can attempt an Arcana check that way, and doesn't matter. It'll still be a straight D20. So yeah, if you would like to do an Arcana check,
Sure.
I'll allow that.
That's a 7, so not great.
Nope. Nothing from Liliana. Her experience is actually at this point not any stranger than yours. I mean, until she ended up in your body, it was a fairly typical experience.
I mean, right, but she like fought in a revolution like 1,000 years ago. So, you know, we have a very different experience.
Nothing like this. Nothing like this involved in that revolution.
Okay. I didn't know if she'd ever seen anything quite like it, but okay.
Anybody want to attempt anything in particular?
Let me see if I have anything else.
Okay. Barring that,
Actually, can
Vera-
I? Oh wait, hold on. Can I use Tides of Chaos and re-roll the ability check?
Sure.
For kicks and giggles. I never use that. So like why not?
Sure. Let me pull up the Wild Magic Surge table.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. And roll it. Nothing happens.
Great. Do I get even bluer?
Yes.
Yes, I will take it. I go from like a nice kind of soft blue to like ultramarine. I look fabulous. At some point, I'll keep it so blue that I'll end up being back at black feathers again. That's just what's gonna happen. I'm okay with this.
Okay, yes, you turn an even more vibrant shade of blue. Go ahead and
Fucking natural one, so never mind anyway.
Liliana forgets aspects of her previous life.
Yeah.
Kira, what are you doing with it before you go to sleep?
Wrap it in a blanket, Gandalf and Pippin style, you know.
Vera, you are muted.
You're muted.
Can't hear you.
I am. I shouldn't be.
Now you are.
You are
Yeah.
muted.
All right. Sorry, my green was showing. I wrap it in a blanket, and again, Gandalf with the Palantir style. But before I go to bed, does anybody have any spell slots left for sending a message to somebody? Probably not.
No.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking like, all this is moot if we're all going to be dead in 5 days. So we really need to start planning on knocking out some of these enemies that are all around us. We thought that would help. The raid would help, but maybe it didn't. So I might want to get in contact with Theodosia eventually if I can.
Nobody has any slots. All of the thirds got majorly burned.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. If there is nothing else in particular, we'll all go to sleep.
Legitimately, the best thing to do is like sing us back to health, and I don't even know if that's how my magic works.
Vera, can you give me a quick wisdom saving throw?
Oh, great. With disadvantage, or it's not an ability check? 'cause
So,
it's a saving
saving.
throw.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a straight save.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Vera, you have very strange dreams. They start with just whispers. And as kind of light slowly dawns, you find yourself in the little bolt hole Gideon, sleeping over there, and you hear whispers coming from somewhere, and you just kind of start looking around, investigating. You locate them. They're coming from kind of the mask in the blanket. As you kind of unwrap the blanket, the whispers get louder and louder, but you still can't quite understand them. But you feel the desperate need to hear them. And as you kind of bring your face closer and closer to the mask, it suddenly seals onto your face. It almost like magnets. It just kind of, and you hear the voice of the Red Queen.
Hi.
Good. Another one. That 8. Stop insisting. And suddenly your entire body is shot through with pain, just agony, like flames spilling out of your veins. The voice goes silent for a moment, and you feel almost as if the skin of your face is being torn off and lifted away. And for a brief moment, Gideon, your husband Gideon, is standing there tearing the mask off of your face, and you wake up kind of covered in sweat, the mask wrapped up in, the mask no longer wrapped in the blanket, but like across the room from you. Your son is still sleeping. As you kind of chest heaving, like look around, there's no identifiable danger.
Okay, maybe we should destroy it. I'm going to. May I just sit here and use some of my monk meditation? Number one, just calm down. But
Yes,
number two, to also.
Sorry, go ahead.
And also to, I haven't done this for a while because I had kind of given up. But to reach out, having just seen him, to reach out to Gideon Senior again.
Yeah, give me a wisdom check.
Yeah, no.
You start to meditate the rest of the night. I'm sorry, but at some point just kind of pass out from exhaustion. The rest of the night goes uneventfully. But you do not see or hear or feel anything else of Gideon the Senior. Shoji, you pop up, standing around, right, looking. Your axes are gone, and you are standing in a dark room. Galena kind of starts from her watch, and you. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's 24 hours. Never mind. So it wouldn't be in the middle of the night. You do kind of pop up, and everybody else in your group is kind of there and around. We'll just skip to kind of you guys have all woken up, regathered, and Damia has her spell slots back. We're ready to do some lesser restoration when Sho kind of like pops up, looking around wildly. Shoji, you're back. You're at 1 hit point, but every 6 seconds you gain another one until you're at half. So just for the purposes of this, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and give everybody a long rest.
Hey.
Long rest, but then Shoji, you are still at half. Okay. Max is 60 seconds. Oh, Shoji, you're alive again.
Yay! Yay! Wonderful! I'm alive!
Yeah, that's gonna be creepy every time. Welcome back, and Constantine hands you your battle axe.
Thank you. What happened? Did we kill all the monsters?
We got close. Sort of.
We did not get close.
Yeah, that sucked real bad. But we all got out. So been-
More or less alive, except for you.
I'm back. It's okay. Wow. Why is everyone here instead of at the home base?
We've all been infected with a deadly disease, so they are quarantining us now.
Oh, don't include me in any of that deadly disease. Now, Constantine is sitting like far across the room from you all. Just, yeah, that's all them.
Well, thanks for dragging me all the way across. I know I'm pretty buff now. So thanks for not letting my body be destroyed.
I do need. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm done.
I do need a saving throw from. A Constitution saving throw from Galena, Damia, and Vera. I'm sorry, Elmania, Galena, and Vera.
Is it still with advantage for me?
Vera is still with advantage.
Con saving throw, you said?
Con save.
That's a 9. That's not good.
All right, Elmania with a 9. Okay. Galena with 6. Elmania with a 9. Vera with a 19. Okay. Good. And Shoji's immune.
What about Damia?
Okay. Damia and Vera, you still have like mottled bruising, and Damia's has returned, but it's still just kind of the bruising. Galena and Elmania, your joints are swollen, and it just looks like you have really dark tumors at your elbows, your ankles, your knees, kind of in your neck. They are extremely painful.
Great.
Your dexterity and charisma scores are reduced by 4. Unless you get this treated. So, I think, Cho, did you have a question?
I don't know, Jenny.
Yeah, dexterity and what?
Dexterity and charisma are both reduced by 4.
I'm not pretty anymore? That's so sad.
I mean, no.
No.
It's
this-
I mean, you've got a dragonborn and a raven person. It looks particularly hideous on you guys as it like pushes through the scales of Galena's arms. It's really unpleasant.
But mine you can't really see because I'm covered in feathers.
True, except that, right, it's expanded, and so what was like a uniform bed of feathers, now like the surface area of the skin has expanded, and so you like the skin is now poking through, and it's bad. So I think first order of business, Damia goes, well, okay then. I seem to be doing all right, and Vera as well. So, and Galena and Elmania, she is going to cast Lesser Restoration on each of you guys. When you make this save again within at the end of the next long rest, you will have advantage.
Nice.
You guys both-
She
She should do it multiple times, try to fix it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is she able to cast again just to see what happens?
on both of them?
Yeah, like if you're gonna double it up,
Yeah.
what happens?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have her make a medicine check real quick. Medicine. Okay. It is not able. It would not be able to cure it. It would be enough. It is enough to give you a significant boost as you try and kick the disease, essentially.
Okay.
And she could cast this 7 times. So that's 2 second levels. She's got a third, which she's gonna. Vera, you already have advantage, so she'll
Yeah.
put that on herself.
I've literally been spending every night in this city with an infected person.
Yep. All right. So Damia, Galena, and Almanya, you will have advantage on the next one of these that you attempt to roll.
Do we feel any better or look any better?
You feel better, but thank you for reminding me. She is basically going to take a small dagger and attempt to drain all of these. So medicine. Yep. And okay, good. All right. So Galena and Almanya, what Damia essentially does is takes a dagger, cleans it, runs fire over it, and then carefully drains all of these growths. So they are significantly reduced. So your dexterity is only reduced, and charisma are only reduced by 2 instead of 4.
Oh, good. Okay.
So just keep in mind any dexterity or charisma check that you guys make, you're going to be essentially just subtracting 1 from whatever you roll.
You got this idea from the draining buboes from the plague, didn't you? From the Black Death.
No, I actually have no idea that they tried to drain those. I was just like,
Yeah, and
oh,
it
it's a
worked.
blood disease. Let's swelling at the joints filled with blood. That's
It worked for the Black Death. That actually could save your life if you did that.
Oh, I didn't know
You
that.
did it early enough.
I got the idea of yeah, sure, the tumors from something like the Black Death. I did not know that that was a valid treatment for those.
Benefits of having a medieval studies major for a college roommate. I know a lot about the Black Death, people.
Which is probably way more than anybody wants to know.
Exactly.
Okay. Good. All of that done, set aside, taken care of. What is the plan for the day?
I tell them
Hey,
about
Cass.
this freaking mask thing.
Oh, can Cho sense any kind of like demon entity from
Yeah.
it?
Just gonna ask that.
Absolutely. This is definitely demonic.
Okay, Cho's gonna say, Vera, it's demonic. I'm destroying it.
Yeah, please smash it with your axes. Drove the axes down on this thing, please.
Smash it with a hammer.
Shoji, give me a where are we? Give me a spell casting ability check. So that is going to be a D20.
Can I give her the help action, which I don't know how that works, but can I?
Plus 3 plus 1, so 17. Okay. Vera, how do you propose to help her?
Well, I'm the one who had the experience with it, so I kind of at least know it's a connection to the Red Goddess, et cetera, et cetera. Is she just smashing it with her axe?
That's what I gathered from Shoji's giggles
Can
and acting out.
Yeah. Can I offer just like advice in setting it and being like, this is where you should hit it? Something like that?
No, you haven't, don't know enough to really, right? Because it's not a physical problem that she's engaging with right now.
True.
It's the magic infusing the mask and the energies within it.
True. I can at least give her information that this is apparently a direct line to the Red Goddess. So if you're looking for the demon who's on the other end, that's who it is.
No.
Or at least she's channeling demonic forces through this if she's not a demon herself.
Shoji, you take your axes and in a very Gimli moment, what are we waiting for? Just smash down on the mask, and there is a flash of light, and there's no effect on the mask. You take the axes again, and you just start wailing on it for a minute until kind of you have to stop for a moment, just kind of breathing heavily. There is a crack running through the mask, but you are not able to destroy it.
Ooh. Okay, when can I try again?
What a great question. Later, you're going to need something else to assist with this. The axes and your will alone don't seem to quite be enough.
Okay, good to know.
Can we, or at least I, go to the complex and send a note in and explain that we've got something weird and maybe Grady should take a look at it and it's definite connection to the Red Goddess, et cetera, everything we know, and Benji should know about it.
But are you guys all heading back to the complex, or are you going off on your own?
I invite everyone, but I do want to let Benji know about, first of all, everything that happened yesterday, what we vaguely successfully did. We did destroy a warehouse. And is there any way he could leverage that to try and clear some of the cultists off of our necks for the next 5 days? Or at least turn it into a PR thing. And then tell him about the mask and ask for suggestions.
I don't think he's going to let me or any of us really in.
Yeah, we're not going to go in. I will send a note in. Or he might come to the ramparts and we can talk.
I could. Do you think I could be allowed in since I'm immune?
Yeah, you are immune.
Be your messenger.
But I suggest we do not let this thing into the complex. As in,
Yeah.
let's just hang on to the mask and not let it anywhere past those walls.
A good plan. I agree.
Yes, people can come out to us to examine it.
Yeah, it would be better to have everyone gather.
Also, tell Benji to bring off to come and look at it.
Oh,
Or I'll
yeah.
write that in my note.
Alright.
Have any experience with demon-possessed masks off?
Things that this creature has been exposed to.
He doesn't know a lot of weird crap.
Well, he has a weird.
We're all going to the complex?
I think we'll all go. Yeah.
Somebody give me a D12 roll.
Delightful.
I did a lot.
Go for it, Jenny.
And you got it?
D12.
Given.
A cloud, not a cloud, but kind of there's just kind of God, what is lesser than a cloud? Why can I not think of the word?
Mist?
There's a pall. There we go. There's a pall of smoke just kind of resting over the city as you guys head out on this day. Based on the amount of it, it doesn't look like the fire spread past the initial household. Or sorry, what? Warehouse. So you guys.
Wait, it did or it didn't?
It did not. It does not look like, any other section of the city caught fire from that.
Dang, we could have burnt the Colstis nest.
I mean, and yeah, hundreds or of other people as well. And you guys make it to the Mayweather area without incident. It is the 25th of contact month. Okay. And yeah. So, Shoji, you are heading in to talk with. Yeah, they're not accepting any item from you guys, not even like a
Good.
note. They'll take, like, they will run word to get Benji. So Shoji, you go in there with the message, and you're getting Oth and Benji. Benji is Benji is not currently here, but you can bring Oth back.
Okay. Is there any second in command, like other leaders
Yeah.
that were in attendance?
Other what?
Other leaders that I know about.
Oh.
Like, okay.
Yeah. You can grab a couple of lieutenants come with you, just to kind of observe. But yeah, as
We
you
also
guys
need to give them this information.
so you're giving them the info. You've told them what you do with what you did with the warehouse.
Yeah.
And what else is part of what you're telling them?
Tell them about the mask.
Yeah. That it's safe outside the walls, and the infected, we all need comfort. So
Beth, I don't know what's going on with your sound. Can you just try to talk louder?
yeah.
It's just
Sorry.
getting, I'm not sure why.
Really? How is it now? Is that better?
Yeah, as long as you're talking at normal volume, it's fine. But when you get quiet, I lose every other syllable.
I'm sorry. I'm super tired. Okay. All right. Yeah. I just want to inform them of the situation as far as we know it, and say that we all want a conference. And since they are battling the red harvest, we can't do it inside. And if they can send anyone to inform Benji as well, let him know what's going on.
Grady comes with you. He'll inform Benji when Benji returns. Okay, so you bring Grady and Oth to the entrance here. And you guys are asking Oth about the mask?
Yep.
Okay. Where is Oth? All right. Okay. Interesting. Where did you get this?
Off of a reaver, big bone creature, demonic sort of thing in the cultists area of town. It was his head.
That is quite unfortunate. Demons have made it past the Borderland keeps. This is the sort of thing that you would only see in the Gatewield, and I have spent quite some time there. They react poorly to my sort of being, but I slipped into a few libraries, big cracks under doors in the Borderlands, very easy to slip through. Um, this is very clearly demonic. Should be destroyed immediately.
Have any suggestions?
Yeah. You got any ideas from all of the libraries and stuff that you snuck through and looked through about how to destroy something like this?
Demons are quite resistant to most forms of destructive magic. In the Borderlands, they usually rely for destruction of particular magics or demonic artifacts on, shall we say, hiring adventurers to take them to places of power and destroying them, either by throwing them in or tapping on the power source, depending on the nature of the source itself.
Any idea where the closest place of power is?
Well, I imagine whatever it is that rests beneath the temple of Mendanathil would be powerful enough. Based on the matriarch's descriptions, I know there are rumors that the city called within the palace of Sogarod, they have means of disposing of such things.
The Palace of. Sorry, one more time. The Palace of.
Sierra and Almania, that would sound familiar to you. Oh, Shoji as well. Sogarod is one of the primary cities in the Borderlands. Oz was from there. Vera, the dagger, the dagger that you have from Oz, the house who's in is one of the. Double check that and make sure. I think it's one of the houses of Sogarod. Where was this? Can you remind me of the? It's house Astasian, correct? On the dagger.
Is there a description of it in my inventory? Because
Well, when you guys were in Freem, you found a book of heraldry, and you.
Yeah.
I think you identified the house.
Yeah, but I don't have it. I'd have to dig through my notes. It's not written anywhere until I go find it.
Yeah, see if you can find that real quick, just to double. I don't want to mislead you here. Yeah, it was a red lion breaking a sword in its teeth on an orange field. So that is House Astasian, one of the houses, the royal houses of Sogarod, or sorry,
Okay.
noble houses of Sogarod. So yes, the palace of Sogarod has means of destroying such things there. What else would he know of?
Is there any way to restrain its power here? Because there's no leaving this city anytime soon. And believe me, I do not want another mental attack as what happened last night.
Yeah. I would recommend not touching it, or being near it, or letting anyone else see it. I believe Almania has a bag of holding which could contain it quite nicely.
Oh,
We can just
throw in juice.
Make sure that when you retrieve it from the bag, you have gloves on your hands.
Well, it's a good thing. I have
Probably.
gloves that tell me if there are bears nearby, so we're gonna be great.
Ooh, good. Even a minor enchantment such as that should protect you somewhat from its influence when you retrieve it.
Great.
Something, yes.
Awesome. with my gloves that tell me if there are bears nearby. And Josh, now I need to know, are there bears nearby?
Uh,
Okay.
no.
Dang it. Okay. My gloves.
There
No.
could be like a performing bear. There could be a circus.
Hey, I will say, hey, Josh,
I
are there
did it last time. Last time I had you roll a percentile die. Roll a
You-
percentile die.
Yay, bears!
We shall determine such things.
Circus bears. Circus bears. Circus.
69. There are no bears within range of your gun.
Ah.
someday I'm going to ask and and he is going to say there are bears nearby, and I'm going to go and look for a bunch of bears.
Someday.
Someday.
Speaking of which, would you remind me the range on those gloves? Bears within how far?
Bears within 50 feet of me.
In 50 feet. There
I-
are.
Where the heck did you get those again?
They were a random thing, I'm pretty sure, from the Wizard Tower. I'm almost positive that I was
Okay, that track.
Random,
That
And-
track.
random,
I was like, take the goddamn gloves, and they were fantastic.
random loot is the only way to do loot.
Best.
Um,
I
that's
also
on the-
do to animal handling checks because I am attuned to gloves that tell me about bears. So if we ever need animal stuff done, I'm
That
generally
could actually be
um,
favorite.
Almania, I notice you are sick.
I am.
that-
Yes. Thank you for noticing.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
He cannot do anything about it. Please do everything within your power not to die of sickness or anything else. If you die, I will have no chance of finding your people.
Yeah. I am really into not dying. Here's the problem, though, Off. I am less likely to die. I am more likely to turn into a ghoul while having this sickness. So,
That sounds like it would equally prevent me from
yes.
ever finding and learning of your people. So
Yes.
do endeavor to avoid.
That would be great. Here's something that you can do for me if you can. So the last time we had somebody who had this illness, we could slow down the process with ash bark. And I had to use every connection that I had to get ash bark. And I don't know if there's any around the city, but if you could ask around while we are trying to, stop the destruction of the city, if you could at least look around for ash bark, that would be super helpful.
I shall look for ash bark.
Thank you.
Do you know where any ash trees?
That's an excellent question. I do not know. So you might not be able to find it by the tree, but you might be able to find it in like old apothecaries or like shops that have been closed down.
I will see if there is one such complex here. It is inadvisable for me to leave. However,
Good point.
if you happen to be going out, there is, I believe, a grove within the council district, as many of the old cities keep one or have kept one, and I believe you guys live, Onishers is still intact.
No wonder you had it.
It's for myself.
Huh. Interesting. No wonder he had ash bark. And I had to go scrounging for it. Interesting. Okay.
No, just another excuse to go and burn down the council district and take all of its riches for ourselves.
Ooh. Oh wait, actually,
Do you know anything else about the Red Harvest?
Other than
Other than that, you can slow the process with ash bark and or a greater restoration spell. Do you know anything else about it, about how it works, anything like that that could be useful while we are trying to not die or turn into ghouls so you and me can go look for the bird people that I am?
it appears to have elements both living and divine, which makes it particularly tricky to deal with. But
Hmm.
that is all I've been able.
Okay. Can I get any spiritual guidance from the Dreamwalker, from the afterlife souls that I, chill with sometimes? Josh, do you know if I could get any kind of guidance
I
from
was
them?
about to I was about to answer as off.
Maybe,
Maybe
possibly.
Um, I mean that is something that you could attempt to meditate on. It's not really something that you can just kind of call up in the moment.
How much time
but
do
you
we have guys, before we head off?
We haven't really determined what we're doing yet, so we might want to have a quick powwow on that.
Yeah.
You've delivered all of your information to Grady. You've stowed the mask, and it seems to be unable to do anything nefarious from within the bag of holding.
Right.
So yeah, what is the plan now?
Well, I was just flipping through my notes, and we have forgotten about Shoji's spider spy.
ah,
We need to go to the council district and literally pick up our bug.
Is it still in existence though? Because I died in the meantime.
The problem is that
Well, so here's the fun thing about Find Familiar. You could, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you could just dismiss it and then summon it again where you.
So instead of, sorry, my prepared spells could have changed. Sorry.
No, I'm saying I don't think you need to. Right, you don't have to cast the spell. Let me double check. I think I'm right. Hold on.
Oh, but in that case, you might want to leave him there to gather more information before we bring him back.
Well, so that's the trade-off. So,
I mean, how long have we had him there?
So as an action, you can temporarily dismiss your familiar. It disappears into a pocket dimension where it awaits your summons. Alternatively, you can dismiss it forever. As an action, while it is temporarily dismissed, you can cause it to reappear in any unoccupied space within 30 feet of you. So, if you want the spider to stay there and continue to gather information, then you'll have to get within 100 feet of it in order to find out what it's gotten so far. If you just want what it's gotten so far, you could just dismiss it and then pop it within 30 feet of you right now.
How long have we had the spider out?
Yeah. Good day.
Good question. It's the 25th. You dropped it in the mansion on the 22nd.
That's a long time.
I know, but the big final push is coming up, so they might be talking more about that.
3 full days.
Yeah, because the big final battle is 5 days away. We might want to leave him there until, I don't know, because they might be making plans that we want to know about.
But do we have any leads on where else we should be attacking in the meantime?
You can attack like other parts of the city that will run like the anti-magic area.
Yeah. Can I ask Grady before he leaves? Does he have any information from the campaign against Marianne? Because I know we
the only-
sent
No, you
Karina
guys
in there.
No, Karina was gonna go there, and then you guys did the whole she's
Yeah, I
dead
know.
thing.
I thought she was going still after that. Because that was her new identity.
I don't remember. I thought she was going to feign death and then continue with the party as somebody. No, hang on.
No,
Makes sense.
her entire intention was to go be a spy.
Jenny sent me a plan. Let me review it briefly.
I just need a little bit of time to meditate. Just see if
Yeah.
I can get some kind of spiritual guidance.
Right. Because frankly, it's a little overwhelming. The odds we're up against are extremely overwhelming. So any push in the right direction would be
I feel very
helpful.
like Hawkeye in was it Civil War or no Age of Ultron with his we're fighting robots and I'm a guy with a bow.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And for me, it's like we're fighting ghouls in an entire city. I'm a girl with a
And
lute.
demons.
Yeah, and demons.
Yeah, and freaking demons.
No expedition has been sent against Marianne yet. So at the moment, all that is known is what Benji told you when you guys first got here, which is essentially people started, right, his people there started disappearing. They got wind of the name Marianne, but nobody who has been sent to investigate and gather information has returned. So it's a blind. I mean, on as far as intelligence goes, it's a dead zone with the name Marianne on it.
However, we gathered another piece of information, which was when Sho was doing her awesome deception on Sambalhain, he listed Marianne as an ally.
Correct.
So she's working with Sambalhain, which we could have guessed, but still, it's good to know she's not an independent player here. So we could go and do recon there. I suggest that if we did that, that would be a stealth mission, not a run in and attack people mission.
I did prepare Path Without a Trace.
Ooh, that'd be very helpful.
Have invisibility.
Ooh.
There were also, as I recall, some talk of getting in touch with old verminocitors or getting in touch with old Death Watch people. Again, that was many weeks ago, real time, so I may not be remembering that accurately.
Yeah, all what you've heard about the verminocitors and the Death Watch is that the verminocitors, both organizations were hit and hit hard. And if there are surviving members, they are in hiding.
Yes, but there was something about like going to an old records area for them. Like the old verminociter records. Something about opening up the sewers.
Both. Oh, I see. Yeah, if you wanted like information about the sewers, you could check verminociter, right? You would have to basically find or go to the verminociter headquarters or one of their substations and see if you can find any remaining records.
I might recommend that. Just more information because, yeah, we're on a time issue here, obviously. But what I'm suggesting that maybe as we go, if we see any ordinary citizens, or we can set up, I don't know, leaf pamphlets or something to just get the word out that this red moon, this is the end. So if people are going to pick a side and make a decision, they need to do it right now. Because we're all going to die in 5 days. And so you might as well die, I don't know, storming the council district and getting all their stuff.
That's beautiful.
Yes. Put that word for word on the pamphlet. Storm the council and get all their stuff. I know how people think.
Well, it'll be the new verse. So they throw into the jingle.
Yeah. And adding another verse saying like in 5 days time this is the end. Like let's do it.
Yeah, who could we possibly ally with? The angels? Right? And that's it.
I think we've right. Have we been in contact with them at all? Because I know we suggested we're allied with the brass, or at least in conversation with the brass.
Yeah, you last you heard Benji said that the brass were willing to come to the table, but that's the last you heard about that.
Yeah.
The angels have not returned any attempt at contacting.
Yes. So I sicked a monster on them, maybe.
And that's hilarious.
I feel I have to admit a little bad about that now. But
They're demonic in nature. The show doesn't. Honestly, I guess I shouldn't have said that. I was thinking more as a player instead of like the character. It's just like they're demonic. They need to die.
well, maybe the tieflings will kill it. Tieflings are part demonic, aren't they? Or is that only a 5e thing? Is that true in Gebrecan?
Is what true in Gebrecan?
The tieflings are demon blood?
I mean, in Gebrecan, it's more than that. There is all.
Oh, we have the whispers. Yeah.
Yeah, tieflings hear a voice in their head from infancy, from childhood, that urges them on to gradually increasing acts of violence, sadism, etc.
But is it that is they do have a demonic connection, and people are sure in this world it's demonic.
I love Beth nodding along like my next character.
Let me at it.
So good.
Tieflings themselves refer to it. I mean, you've heard Damia refer to it as her demon.
Right.
The exception are members of the Temple of the Moon Maiden. That voice is no longer there, although Damia has told you that she can sort of hear it again.
Yeah. I suppose what I was asking is if it's been confirmed over the long history of the world, like is that actually an actual demonic thing or is it something else? Or do we just not know?
Everybody, I mean, again, you're in a fallen age. So if you're asking for objective, like, Josh, is it demonic? I don't know. Everybody considers it demonic, and nobody has felt it necessary to delve further.
Right.
I have a quick question, Josh. I'm looking at the Mayweather map right now. And we don't have the claws filled in or the spears filled in, and I wanted to know if we actually do know what those are, or if we still don't have any information on those two symbols.
Yeah, if you want to ask Grady for it, the claws are just monstrous outbreaks. Things just coming out of the sewers. The spears are kobolds. They seem to have taken kind of that whole long boulevard and booby trapped the crap out of it.
Guys, we have to go negotiate with the kobold.
We tried. They were not happy with us.
When was that? Wait a minute. When? I know they've never been happy with us.
You killed one of them.
Yeah, one.
What, didn't we see some of them at my parents' house?
There was some hiding in a pipe somewhere.
You did not see any kobolds at the Kalmabdalor. Kalmab. What you did find were cleverly hidden tunnels that were well booby trapped.
Yeah. But looking at the map of people who are going to kill us on sight and who only desire to serve a blood goddess, which seems to be cultists, potentially the angels if they're allied with them, and probably Marianne if she's allied with Samvalhain. The kobolds don't appear to be interested in that. And as we just saw them running into a burning building for food, they appear to be interested in food.
Do we have any food that we can offer them?
No, but we also don't have any either. But guess who does?
Mm.
Oh, Vera.
Do you still think we can get the brass on with us? Because we have the brass and the kobolds.
But at least the kobolds don't have any ideological, at least that we know, don't have any ideological reasons to not negotiate with us. They're entirely opportunistic.
If we
We
promise
can work with that.
food that they want, once we get to the council district, they'd probably be pretty okay with that.
Yeah. And also, I don't know, we might have to make promises for future things, but in terms of, hey, here are two groups of people who are starving and we're pretty much in the same boat. Why are we fighting each other? Of everybody, they are the most they're the most likely to negotiate with us on those grounds, it seems. Also, Grace really wants to play a kobold, so we have to get into this culture and we have to get in there like a lot so that we can unlock this race.
Do you think the kobolds are able to be negotiated with, like their language, their intelligence, their organization? Like, are they reasonable enough?
Speak Draconic.
Oh, actually, show speaks Draconic too. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think all of us speak Draconic. This would be awesome.
Somehow I don't. Ironically enough.
Because languages in this world are determined by culture as they should be and not by race.
Fair.
How I didn't know Draconic when I was raised in a Dragonborn household. It still doesn't make any sense to me.
Yes, that's because of other language rules.
Oh, that
We'll
does
get into
happen.
it later.
But at least from what I overheard the little kobolds saying as they were running into the burning building, they clearly had a plan and they were yelling things like, get the food out. And they were clearly intelligent enough to be organized in that manner. And
That's true.
it's worth a try.
It is worth a try. It's funny though.
And this, it gives me so much joy. It's gonna fail terribly because it gets worse, but it would give me joy to try.
I mean, it might fail, but come on, right? A halfling leading a charge of like a kobold raid on a noble's household, like
Be pretty sweet.
Please, yes. It's like the scum of the earth.
is there a cooler death?
Yeah. Also, okay, so this is a tiny bit of, well, actually, it's a lot of metagaming. I think Jenny might have been there. Didn't we ally with some kobolds in the last campaign when we were fighting spiders in the sewers? And they helped us, and we communicated with them.
Oh yeah.
So we
Allied with them.
Yes. They assisted us.
Did they?
Yes.
Did we like carry one of them back with us?
Yeah. Devin's bard. I'm blanking on his name.
Baelish.
Baelish, yes, managed to to garner the loyalty of a few of them and then abandoned them in the sewers. But
We won't do that. We have Elmania's silver tongue, and I can translate.
I mean,
and
I can be while I have the red harvest.
true, but it's only -1, and we'll back you up. So maybe we can give you advantage, and we can go chat with some kobolds. Guys, want to go chat with some kobolds with me?
want to.
We're gonna go chat with some kobolds, Josh.
We're gonna go chat with some kobolds.
They're right up
Right.
against our territory, I think.
They are, yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, the kobolds are the ones who have driven the Mayweathers from that direction, kind of in towards the center of their territory.
Right. So before we do this, can I chat with Grady briefly and get a summary of like what has been going on with the kobolds on that border? Clearly, they've been fighting us, and we've been fighting them back.
Yeah, it's fairly straightforward. None of you guys speak Draconic.
None of us do.
I mean,
Because
you
no,
do.
no, a ton of the
I mean,
Mayweathers should.
I mean the organization.
Oh,
No,
Very,
think plotline wise, they totally should.
why would they know Draconic?
Because that's one of our major businesses is ferrying slaves out of. That's the
Cool.
reason I know it.
Sure. So right. Okay. So a few might, but that's not really a major business. And ferrying slaves out of there, usually you guys take a hit on that as far as like making money goes. So it was definitely like a side hustle. There's not a lot of money to be made in it.
Yeah.
So right. Okay. So there may have been a few, but again, it's a fight against. Sorry, it's a fight for very, very scarce resources.
Okay, cool. So why are the people with scarce resources fighting each other instead of going and fighting the people with the resources? It just makes so much sense.
oh, it's so good.
As you say that, Grady goes, and he walks away and comes back a few minutes later and just hands you a 10-foot pole. doesn't say a word, just hands you a 10-foot pole.
Grady, darling, before you go back and talk to Benji, I did promise him that I wouldn't interfere diplomatically anymore, but I'm about to go and interfere diplomatically. That being said, I don't think the kobolds are very much on his political radar, but all the same, give him the heads up.
Cool. Any objection if I'll just, don't say anything? And then if you come back and you're successful, then I can tell him?
Brady, your talent for self-preservation is impressive as always. That is very sensible.
Good. I'll take that as permission then.
Yes. Keep your mouth shut.
Just don't, promise them any of our stuff, and I don't see a problem with it.
Oh no, we're going to promise them other people's stuff.
Oh. So business as usual.
Exactly.
Oh, perfect, yeah. No, I'll tell him when he gets in.
Thank you. Alrighty. I'm gonna go talk to some kobolds.
Do
I'm
it.
so happy.
All right, what's the approach?
So, and we can walk along, going in that direction, and talk as we go, perhaps. But
Let's go with that. Why don't you guys discuss? I will be right back in a moment. You guys can decide your approach and how you want to do that.
yes. So my suggestion is to go in like weapons away type of thing. And again, we don't know anything about kobold culture, and I think nobody does. So I think just starting out being as sort of unexpectedly non-threatening as possible, and like call down in Draconic and say, we just want to talk, but basically make no threatening moves whatsoever until we fail a bunch of persuasion checks.
Oh, do we want to establish communication with the leader? Like, we want to try to find out who that is, if they have one?
Yeah, or Yeah, the first thing we
Or
yell
just-
down is like, "Take me to your leader."
You're right.
If they have one, which they might not. They could be just completely, a little mob down there.
Sure, I don't
We're going to promise them other people's stuff, but it does seem wise to maybe take some sort of small bribe. I'm not sure they're going to respond to take me to your leader. They might respond to food.
Yeah.
I have 3 days worth of
Sure.
rations. That's about it. On
3 days worth of what?
ration.
Like rations, yeah.
Like few-
Because I think this is all going to be based off of like promises of like, if we invade the richer districts and we win, it's going to be a 50-50. Like it's going to be fair. And we'll help you, you help us. We'll cut, everybody's going to be cut in. So yeah, we don't really have anything to promise to give them at the outset. Because the kind of the way we're going to go with it is like, we're as screwed as you are. Why are we mad at each other?
Hmm.
And that we
also they're going to enter into conversation,
right,
like on an intellectual level.
which
We need
might
to
not be a good
Lure
idea.
them.
Yeah, or yeah, maybe bring food to like bring them up to the surface and be like, this is an offering, a peace offering type of thing. Yeah, I think I've got some rations. Ooh, I have an idea.
Another one?
Oh gosh. Can I like as we go along here or before we leave, like jazz up some rations to make them extra tasty?
With what?
Well, I've got my there. Do I still have like the cooking supplies that I've been carrying this whole time?
I have a vague recollection of at some point saying, Vera, yes, you can do that, but it's going to use up all of the rest of your spices.
Oh, maybe that did happen.
I have a vague recollection of that. I cannot recall the precise situation, but I'm fairly certain
That
you're
probably
out.
has happened. Yes. Well, I could just zhuzh them up, not with extra materials, but just in them being well prepared.
I mean, it's dry. If all you have is
Yeah.
rations, it's hardtack essentially.
True. It's the best we can offer the little guys.
All right.
So yeah, we approach first of all establishing that I think Amanya is the face to begin with. And also being a non-humanoid creature might go in your favor here.
might help, yeah.
We're sort of being an odd creature. Yes. They've never seen one of you before, so they have no reason to be hostile to you.
What about the monk? I mean, aren't Dragonborn like just big kobolds?
Kobolds? Yeah. You two go in front.
Call down to my cousins.
Hello, cousin.
So quickly, just to establish, because I've forgotten, who of us does speak Draconic?
Shelley did, but I don't know if after she died and came back, if that's changed.
I mean, you still know all of the things that you knew. Oh, it looks like I didn't put languages on your sheet. Let me pull up Doji.
Also, if someone speaks Draconic, I can mimic anybody perfectly. I can repeat exactly what I've heard.
Oh, so I could read words and you can say them charmingly.
Oh, absolutely.
Doji, you only know common.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, another thing we can bring up for negotiation is like, we were the ones who burned down that warehouse and we saw a bunch of your buddies go in there and get a bunch of meat. So more where that came from, if the more people we destroy. If the city kobolds are in communication with each other.
So you guys kind of creep along the streets. What's the marching order? So Elmanya and Galena in front.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll go in the middle behind you two.
And I'll go behind.
And Damia with me in the middle so we can protect her.
Yeah.
and Vera, and then Constantine and Shoji in the back.
I hate the map function on Fantasy Grounds so much.
No, it's not
the
great.
worst to navigate. It's so hard.
Okay. Who, what are you guys doing with the 10-foot pole?
Vera, what's up with the 10-foot pole?
I have no idea, to be perfectly honest. But I assume it's for traps.
Oh yeah, no, you take it and like
Mhm.
anything that looks weird, you poke
Yeah.
it.
On second thought, y'all, perhaps I should go first and be checking for traps.
Well, now that I know the purpose, I could go in front with it if you want.
True. Only, what's the check for a trap? Is that investigation? What is that?
Well, if you're using a 10-foot pole, the way of checking for a trap is by setting it off. That's the purpose of a 10-foot pole.
Okay. Yeah, Talena, if you want to be trap checker.
I gladly will check the traps.
Here's the thing about 5th edition: traps are not nearly deadly enough, and so like the 10-foot pole, which if I understand correctly, used to just be like in older editions, just a staple of every adventuring group. You put a 10-foot pole.
Just tap, 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 tap.
It has fallen out, and I wish to bring it back. So,
It's back.
because I love that idea, like this hard-bitten group of adventurers. And the one in front is like,
Especially when you're trying to summon a kobold army. Yeah, let's do this.
that was back when a first level character could literally have one hit point.
Oh Lord. Like you trip and fall in your face and die from falling damage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So Galena, you're in front using your 10-foot pole to sit on the trap. Okay. You go ahead and roll. Actually, how are you approaching this, right? So from what Grady told you, it's not like the kobolds are like milling about.
Yeah.
This is just their territory.
Right.
So
I assume they're underground. So what we just vaguely talked about was sort of like to approach anywhere that looks like an entrance, maybe down into the sewers, down into where they're likely to be based on what we know, and to essentially call down in Draconic and say, like, we'd like to talk to you. We come in peace, all weapons away, like basically hands up. Maybe with like, we come with a gift, we come with gifts. We would like to speak with you.
Okay. You set off 2 traps on the way right to finding a sewer entrance in their territory. And they're frankly just horrifyingly concealed, as in quite well concealed. One of them looks like you basically just, you don't know if you hit a stone or tripped a wire or something, but what looks like 7 or 8 meat cleavers that have all been like strapped to this really long quarterstaff that was then concealed like inside one of the support beams of a broken down house on the side of the street. Just this line of cleavers just like swings down and slams onto the end of the 10-foot pole and takes 6 inches off of it. And then the next one is less deadly, but basically rope had been made to fit the size of the cobblestones, but like tailored for this spot, pressed into the cracks around the cobblestones in the road, and then like covered in mud and just normal dirt, so it's just completely invisible. And then it when you tripped the thing, your pole basically got grabbed and ripped up, and then to a window on the side of the street, and you hear like the crash of some really heavy weight land on the other side of that building.
Goodness
Oh.
gracious.
This is just like me and
Wow.
Oz. There's a reason why I love them, and there's the booby trap thing. They're just kindred spirits.
Dude, they maybe have like box trolls. Have you ever seen that movie?
What is
It's like
it?
in the box trolls. You ever see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my idea of kobolds. Like they're underground. They're always like tinkering and just mischievous.
So you guys trip 2 traps before you actually find like a sewer grate, and you lift it up, no problem, and whoever is yelling Draconic, you kind of stick your head down there. Give me a quick perception check.
All of
Good,
us?
I've got lots. If I may.
No, just whoever it is who's sticking their head into the sewer to yell in Draconic.
I have good perception. I can do it. Let's see. Ooh, lots. 26.
Nice.
26. You're a 1. It does not look like this grate has been moved in quite some time. Doesn't necessarily tell you too much, because the kobolds are quite clever at concealing things. So it's entirely possible that they do use it and just cover it up. 2, the sewer smells. There's a familiar tang in the air, and it is the smell of blood.
Great.
It is. I mean, it's the smell that pervades, or that pervaded kind of the whole area around the warehouse. Every time you've gotten near to one of the cultists, right, just kind of that stench of congealed blood just spreads through the area, and that
Okay.
is what the sewer smells like.
So they're
can
probably
also-
not in there.
You can also, with a 26 perception check, hear like splashes as of like feet, but with a weird cadence, and you realize it sounds very similar to the Reaver that you spent a large chunk of yesterday.
Okay. I'm not shouting down this one. I am very quietly closing this grate, and we are moving on.
You check a couple of others, similar kind of stench, and you don't see any activity of kobolds.
Makes me
Are you
worried.
taking this away from me, Josh? Taking my joy away.
They don't seem to be, as far as you can tell, using the sewers.
Okay. Because they were in the pipes the last time we met them, in the buildings. So
Last time you met them, their tunnels did not go through sewers. They basically went through like the street and around the sewers. They did not seem to be using the sewers themselves.
so can we start to just like open buildings and start looking for the telltale little tunnel entrances that we've seen in the past?
You walk around until kind of you push a door open with the 10-foot pole. Well, the 9.5 foot pole, until you find one that another blade comes down and snaps off a portion, so you know you're in the right place. So you now have a 9-foot. And you guys push in, and now knowing kind of where to look, you find a couple of places where like floorboards, a couple of floorboards actually can just be slid into the wall, and then like in other places, if you try and use like the pump inside, it doesn't actually work, and you kind of lift it up, and it's well, there's clearly a hole.
Alrighty, then I will.
Shouting your Draconic down here.
I will.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check.
Oh dang! So we were talking that Almania can mimic. So even though she doesn't speak Draconic, essentially I can translate. Essentially, she's translating for me ish. but perhaps that would also help us back up each other's persuasion.
Is she?
I want
saying-
Almania to be the face. I want Almania to be the face here, but I'm the one who knows Draconic, so she is essentially mimicking my words, repeating my words,
I see.
but with
Okay,
her
so-
charm.
Gotcha. I mean, Almania, don't you speak? You speak Draconic now, right?
You told me I didn't speak Draconic.
So I said that Almania, original Almania, should not have. But Liliana did know it, and Liliana remains a part of.
Oh,
And that's fine.
problem solved.
Problem
Yeah,
solved.
so-
I'll speak Draconic then.
Yeah, so that's why it was just like, well, hold on, you actually shouldn't, but actually now you should.
Okay.
So yeah, it worked out. So yeah, Almania, you know Draconic.
What do you want me to say?
Sorry, you cut out, Mary. What'd you say?
I said, all right, Ma, what do you want me to say?
Oh, well, I don't have to. You speak Draconic, so I don't have to feed you the words, but you know our mission. Be your charming self. Say we want to talk, and we come in peace.
All right. In Draconic, mimicking my parents' tone with the kind of roughness that I remember from all of our them when they would speak to each other kind of quietly, and I could always kind of hear the rumbles and the growls and all of those things that I never like quite understood. But now with Liliana's stuff in the background, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what they were saying. That's wild. But I'm going to say, excuse me, which I don't think has a direct translation in Draconic. They don't seem to like that phrase, but I will say it anyway. Excuse me. We come in peace bearing gifts. We would like to speak to you.
All right, give me a persuasion check.
Okay. That's a
Ooh.
26.
26.
Okay. You shout that down. And there's silence for a moment, and then you hear a little bit of rustling down the tunnel, which again, right? Kobold tunnels, very small. Only Vera would really be able to fit down here. But you hear kind of rustling down the tunnel a little bit. And then you hear in Draconic. So the rest of you just kind of hear this rasping reptilian voice. You bring tribute.
Yes. We bring tribute.
Cho.
Did you say, what did you say, Josh?
Show.
Oh, oh, okay. I take the box of soup.
Yeah, I take mine too.
Yeah, the ration boxes, and I hold them up and kind of poke them over.
One more thing, I would like to give them all my Yanoed teeth, which I think would make like a perfect little sword for a kobold.
Oh, that's a good one. That's good.
Gananoid teeth are more like really long needles, right?
Yeah.
I remember
They're
the creatures
perfect for
correct.
kobolds.
Yeah.
And a bag of teeth.
So you guys kind of hold those above the tunnel, and you can't see anything yet, but you hear.
I will give if we can speak after I give.
How tribute works. Tribute is gift.
Do it.
Okay. I put the boxes of food down. I drop them down one by one. And then I hold up the bag of teeth and I pull out one of the teeth and say, this gift, all of these gifts are for when we have a conversation and talk.
As you drop kind of the how many rations do you guys have?
I have 3 boxes of rations.
3 boxes.
Yeah,
Okay. Are you dropping all 3?
Yeah. I've had those rations for forever. They are, I'm sure the kobolds will like them better than I did.
All right. Go ahead and all right, mark that off your sheet. All right, you drop the boxes down and you immediately hear scrabbling, which then intensifies, and you hear no, no. You hear a couple of yelps of pain, and then a rapidly receding, like footsteps, like disappearing down the tunnel, and then you hear more tribute. He took that one. You give more.
I only give more if we can talk.
That's not tribute. That's tribute.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to be traded then. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, who am I trading with?
Bird bones.
Bird bones?
Bird bones.
Bird bones. And where do I find bird bones? Is that you?
Nope. We talk. Now you give.
Oh, no, see, that's not how it works. That's not a conversation.
You keep me. You did not say conversation. You
I said conversation. I said conversation very distinctly. I said, you get these when we have a conversation.
Give me another persuasion roll.
Okay.
This is freaking delightful. They're so litigious.
No, they're so hungry.
16. Bad. I'll take it.
16? One more. Then we have conversation.
I do one of my rations. I've got 3.
I have another box of rations, and then I drop it down.
Okay. You hear the packaging being torn apart, and you hear the sounds of basically just crackers being like smashed and chewed. Okay. Now we have conversation. How long?
Yep. As long as it takes for us to make a deal.
We just made a deal. Yes.
All right, you don't get the other trade then. I'm very sorry. We'll have to go find somebody else who wants it.
More trade? No, more trade. Yes. More conversation. How many questions?
Hold on for me. Hey, Ma, how many questions do we want to ask and have answered?
Let's go for 5. 5 is a nice, not even, but it's a round number.
5 questions.
5 questions for what?
For this bag of needle-like teeth.
One at a time.
Yes, 5 questions for bag.
5 questions. We made
1 tooth per question.
No, deal is made. Deal is made. First question.
question.
Are you willing to ally with the halflings?
Are you willing to ally with the halflings?
What halflings?
The ones who live over there. I kind of motion, then I realize he probably can't see it, and I go, the ones with the barrier around their area.
Who you've been fighting?
Been fighting.
Yes. We like ally with them. They're very tasty.
I don't know if they know what allying is.
No, I don't think they do.
Do not-
Do they have? Second question. Ask them if they have a boss of the kobold in the city.
Is there a leader of the kobolds in this city?
Yes.
All right. That's all they're going to give us.
You asked a yes or no question.
True. Who is the leader of the kobolds in this city?
Who is the leader of the kobolds in this city?
Bugface, leave moss flower.
One more time,
Sorry.
Josh. Non-kobold.
Yeah, one more time.
Bugface.
Bugface. What is Bugface? That's excellent. In your professional opinion, do you think, this is question number 4, do you think that Bugface and the rest of the kobolds would be willing to raid the what is it called? The counselor district for a ton of food?
We would like ton of food, yes.
Good. Okay. One last question, Mom. What you got for me?
Would Bugface and all the other kobolds fight alongside us for the food? Like the council district with our help for the food.
Sure.
With our help.
Would you, Bugface, and the rest of the kobolds fight with us and the halflings against the council district in exchange, so trade, for food?
Food now?
Food when we have destroyed the council district.
You keep saying council district.
Yes. Do you not know where that is?
Not know these words.
Okay, that's fine. So
Big wall, it's south and west up here.
We not go outside Big Wall.
Oh,
which big wall? Which big wall are you talking about?
there's a huge wall between the council district and the rest of the city.
Is that the big
You have
wall?
to go through the gate.
Are you asking me or are you talking to the kobold?
Or do they mean the city walls?
I'm saying there's a wall between. Am I correct? Because I was visualizing this, that between the rest of the city, not talking to the kobold, talking to the DM, that between the rest of the.
Yes, you're correct. The council district sits on top of an acropolis.
Yes.
And
the one on top of the big hill.
Separates it, yeah.
Okay. So would you be
That's what we're referring
to break through that wall and get a lot of food with
Answer
us?
question. Give back.
You didn't understand the question because you said so. You said you didn't go outside the wall, but then that was a clarifying answer.
Clarify. I gave you answer. I answered question. You give me back.
I got more stuff to give him. It's okay.
Okay. I go, would you answer more questions for more trades?
Is that one of them?
No.
No, that's not a question. We already answered the 5 questions. This is an outside of the scope of questions.
Do not give back yet. Give back.
I did make him a deal. Okay. But just know that if you stay here and answer more questions, I have more things to give you. And I drop down the bag of teeth.
You see like a little clawed hand just like reach out, grab it, and pull it back into the darkness, kind of around the corner.
That's why I imagine the noise is like the. So are you still here?
You still have stuff?
Oh, so many things.
I still here.
I have an idea.
Mm.
I have something that I think is, I'll be whispering this to her, not in Draconic, that would be very valuable indeed. So as a result, I would only like to trade it with Bugface himself or herself.
Okay. Themselves.
So can we say, in exchange for something just for you, could you take us to Bugface?
You
We have
know,
a special trade just for him.
you know, Ma, that you're the only one who can fit down there.
I know. I'm the one with the thing.
Okay.
Just so you know, I have a potion of longevity, and I strongly suspect that a kobold who I don't think lived very long might be interested in that.
It's a good point. Friend, what is your name? Just so I know what to call you.
We do another trade. Answer this question, you give me things.
Oh, I will ask you 2 questions and you will get a thing. This is one of those questions.
What I get for question?
What do we get for questions?
I hand you I have these little I have so much crap for some reason in my inventory.
This is like the most useful thing though.
I have a looking through my stuff here. I have let me get rid of my handful of Yanoed teeth, first of all. I don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
Thanks. How about okay, when they say that I've got a set of tools, how many actual objects are in that?
Like thieves' tools and tinker's tools?
Yeah, if I've got like Tinker's tools, how many individual objects are in a box of Tinker's tools?
Oh, well, that's not helpful. Great question.
But for each question that you answer, I give you another thing.
That's what I'm saying, but I need to know how many things I have.
Yeah.
Individual things. And if anybody else has weird stuff in their pockets, let me know.
I have glassblowers tools, jeweler's tools, and brewer's tools.
I mean, who the crap is going to use these? Let's give it some freaking tools.
I mean,
Okay.
between all of the sets of tools that you have, you guys have like small glass vials, like alchemy
this is great.
equipment. You've got all kinds of tweezers and chisels and small like hammers for very fine work. You've got all kinds of stuff.
Excellent.
Great. So
All right.
it's going to be like one thing per question. Like, give him a pair of tweezers for this.
Friend, I'd like to know your name. Because every question that you answer, I will give you another thing, another gift, another trade.
Good, yes. Bird bones.
Ah, so you are Bird Bones. Excellent. Bird Bones. Thank you. I will put a glass vial down on the ground for him to scrabble up.
Like one next to you?
Yeah, because you said that I put them on the ground or I drop them and then like a hand comes out and grabs them.
Yeah, because you guys were basically dropping them down where the tunnel, like it basically goes down and then curves out of sight.
I will put it on the side of the hole so that it slides down, so it uses the momentum on the side so it doesn't break.
Okay. Yeah. So it rolls part of the way down and you see it doesn't like quite get to the bend. So you see like a kobold head like coming out, eyes shining like cat's eyes, and just kind of like reaches out, grabs it, and pulls back.
Lots more where that came from. Excellent. Okay. What other questions do we have, Vera?
We have a very special trade that's just for Bugface. Can you take us to see him or her?
Yes. All right, Bird Bones. We have a very special trade that is just for Bugface, and we will give you another gift if you will take one of our members to go and see them.
Not a question. What is question?
Question. Will you take one of our party members to go see Bugface right now?
Nobody goes see Bug.
Why is that? He answered that question, so I put like a set of tweezers down while I'm waiting. I'm
And
true to my word.
out,
Yeah.
okay, leader of Moss Flower Tribe. Not talk to Moss.
Moss flower.
Oh.
Oh, red wall. This is great.
Oh.
The woods, right? The woods are called the moss.
Mossflower wood. Mossflower wood.
Oh,
That's why that rang a bell.
moss flower.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to.
One who wants to. No, it's adorable.
On there for him because he answered that question too.
I like that. Like literally yesterday, you watched kobolds taking like human body parts out of a slaughterhouse to then be devoured, and today you're calling them adorable.
Well, I've always said they were adorable.
And
I've always said they were adorable.
I spent the last 3 weeks with my chinchilla. Every time I like hold a little treat out, she like comes out of her hole and like looks at me for a little bit and then sticks her tiny paws on my hand and delicately takes it out of my hand and then like scurries back to her hole. So like in my mind, there's a very similar movement between my chinchilla and a kobold in this like scrambling.
The difference is, and I will warn you once and only once, your chinchilla cannot set up a deadly trap while you sleep.
Or can it?
Can you, Melian? Do that? Gee, I hope not. I'll be very sad. Okay.
Armanya, tell him that the leader of the Mayweather tribe, as an equal, would like to speak to the leader of the Mossflower tribe. So even though we're outsiders, it's two tribes having a talk. Does that ever happen?
Hardbones, our tribe leader of the Mayweather tribe would like to speak to Bugface as the leader of the Mossflower tribe. Do tribes ever communicate with each other?
Do not give me thing for last question.
Yes, I did. I said I put down a chisel.
Not for the question, will you take someone to
Oh, my apologies.
We'll give him another bye.
I put down a little glass cutter, like one of the like one of those ones that has like a little wheel on the end, and on the other end it has a little E shape so that you can slide and cut, and then on the other side you use the back end and you tap it and then it splits in half. I like that's a cool thing that I enjoy.
hand comes out, grabs it, pulls it back. Brief, like a quick like squeal of pain, and like shivers of delight.
Oh,
That is really cute. Or didn't I that?
like that one?
You hear yes, 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 yes. And it's a moment before you can get his attention again to then ask that question.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. Remind me what the question is.
Our leader of the Mayweather tribe would like to speak to Bugface as the leader of the Mossflower tribe and do like, is it okay for tribes to communicate?
Mossflower tribe kill and eat Mayweathers. Mayweather's enemies. Mayweather's enemies to Bugface. Mayweather's not enemy to Birdbone.
Correct.
You're seeing where we're coming from. Huh?
This man has, has ambitions that I respect.
I roll down a chunk.
What is it?
Oh, I rolled down a chunk of colored glass because I have glass blowers tools. Of like green
Really?
glass, like really pretty green glass.
Maybe. I ask question now, but you still give something.
Oh, I'm okay with, I'm okay with this. Yes. An equal trade, yes.
Maybe Bugface, not tribe leader, and Mossflower get ton of food with Mayweathers.
I understand. I understand. I pick up a set of let me see. This is being jeweler's tools. It's one of those what is it called? It's an awl. It's like a bone awl, which you use to like flatten pages out and to organize things. I slide down like a nicely carved bone awl.
Isn't an awl something that you use to poke holes in leather?
I apologize. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of in my brain. Yeah,
Okay.
a bone awl. Yeah,
Basically a shiv.
yes. I give him a shiv because we're friends.
Give magic. Give magic. Bird Bones becomes tribe leader. We get ton of food. With
So, do you mean we help you with magic?
Oh, you give magic.
I don't know if I can give you magic. I've never given someone magic. How do you think that I give magic?
Like you give. It holds out like the glass cutter. You just see it. Like you give this. It's
Magic item.
That is interesting.
Ooh.
I have not in Draconic. I have a potion of poison resistance. I wonder if
And I have a potion of fire resistance and a potion of longevity.
and I have
So
a
he
potion.
suddenly becomes immune to poison, immune to fire, and immensely long-lived. Perhaps maybe one of those three.
Yes. Okay. Now, Bird Bones, how can I trust that I give you magic and then you still agree with me and you still help us?
we make a deal.
Are deals very important in your culture?
You give something if I answer the question.
Yes.
Uh,
I see deals are very important.
Deals very important between us. We make lots. We make lots of deals. I not cheat you. You not cheat me. We build trust. Yes.
Of course. I'm going to pull out from Jeeves one of the tiniest pieces of flail snail shell. Like when we broke the pieces, there were some shards and smaller chips, ones that I can't really use for anything. But I am going to take like a chip of flail snail shell and I'm going to drop it down.
Make him a tiny kobold crown.
Yeah, a tiny little it's very cute. It's a very nice piece of flail snail shell.
How big?
Well, so I assumed when we broke the pieces that there were some like smaller crumbly pieces. Obviously,
they broke pretty evenly.
Oh, okay.
There were large chunks. I mean, if you wanted to take like shavings, sure, but like tiny chips.
Oh yeah, I could take shavings too. I was going I assumed that when I broke them, then there would be some residual that was left.
So you're dropping some of that down.
Yeah.
What to do with rocks?
Oh, okay. So you're not into rocks. All right.
Give
Don't
him a white silk glove that I have.
Like a damn dress.
Weapons.
You do hear like a small crunch and then another yelp of pain. Bigger. Yes.
Oh.
More. Holds out the chip of shell.
I have some more.
Next.
Those are big pieces, and they're going to require lots of help.
Spitting. You hear a spitting sound, and like a couple of teeth like fly out into the.
Those are very big pieces, though. Those are going to require a big deal. So.
Yes, I agree not to ally with Mayweathers. Instead, be friends and get a ton of food.
Yes. And if you are friends with them and you help us. So, but, Bird Bones, how can you be sure that you are going to be able to take control of the kobolds and overthrow Bugface?
You give magic. You give magic. I do that.
Oh, so what kind of magic would you need to do that?
To have.
I can make you
Oh,
be less hurt with fire. Like if somebody puts fire at you, you will be hurt less because of it.
Fire could. Yes. Can use. Yes. What you have that does that.
Ma,
not slide over the thing.
I hold it up and I say, can you see this?
What is it? Is this the potion of fire resistance?
Yes, I'm holding up potion of fire resistance.
Yep.
You see bird bones? Do you like
Again, like the light reflecting in like a cat's eyes in the dark. Yes.
this is bottled magic. And if you drink it for, well, do you know what an hour is? For an hour? I don't know if they know how to tell time. For an okay amount of time. When somebody tries to burn you with fire, you can
You broke up and all of that sound was lost, but I'm assuming you were selling a fire potion.
yeah.
Snake oil. Snake oil.
I'm basically telling him like you can have this and it will make and for a short amount of time you will, you won't get hurt by fire as easily.
I use this, yes. Could. Give me more later.
Yes, if you can overthrow Bugface with this and have all of the kobolds come and we be friends, I will give you so much more. And food once we overthrow the council district.
Yes, yes. Good. I can use.
When?
Two 2 days. Same place.
2 days, same place. Is that
And you hear
I was gonna give him the potion. I haven't given him the
I
potion.
am
Oh no, I'm sorry. I assumed
happy.
you had given.
I put the potion down. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Mom, I think we might have a deal with some kobolds.
I cannot express to you the depths of my joy. It might actually be my player's joy, but it's real.
I've actually never seen a kobold before, but I now revoke any familial relationship at whatsoever.
What are you talking about, Glenn? They're adorable. Did you see him?
Yeah,
He's like a chinchilla.
you should definitely ask some culturally dragonborn what they think about kobold.
We've learned something about their culture.
You seem to have brokered some sort of a deal with a kobold individual who will overthrow his tribal leader and meet you back here in 2 days.
I'm so happy.
Thrilling.
We have learned that they are essentially Gebrecan Ferengi. So I'm down for that.
Why does Ferengi sound familiar?
It's from Star Trek.
Oh.
They're extremely opportunistic little Brooklyn people.
Okay. I recognize the name. I am not familiar with the creature, but I might go watch some Star Trek after this to just steal inspiration. All right.
Watch some Deep Space Nine, and it will all become clear.
Well, it is early afternoon, and you guys are not out of spell slots and almost dead. What is the next course of action?
Oh, I might take this opportunity. I have to step out a little early today. It's all right.
Yeah, we're gonna end here in just a minute. I just want to know kind of what the next goal is. So if you need to hop off.
Do you all maybe want to go and talk to the spider and maybe scope out the council district a little bit. Try and get within 100 feet.
Yeah, actually.
That sounds good.
I'm down for that.
Because I'd also like to sort of do something maybe a little bit similar, but just talk to the civilians in the area outside of the council district and be like, what do you think about all of this nonsense? And we're all going to die in 5 days. Join our cause.
Do some recruiting.
All right. All right. So you guys are basically going to try and get your way into the council district to get within 100 feet of Sam Vilhane's manor.
Yeah, maybe not inside, but yes. To the
Okay.
council district.
All right. If somebody would give me a D12 roll.
Lord. I'll do it.
All right.
Let me see. What does a D12 look like? I've been playing D&D for 3 years and I don't remember. 7.
Okay. So the only question remaining then is, how do you guys propose to get in? Are you approaching the gate to try and get talk your way past the guards, going over the wall?
Let me look at the map super fast because I think I had a weird plot in the past. So remind me. Yes, it's down in the south west corner.
Weather map. There we go.
Yes. So does the river run right under it?
It runs deep under the city.
Right, and then exits out the side of it, right?
Yeah, it basically, CMF, the river runs full force from the mountains underneath the city. Only a minor portion of it empties out into the harbor. Right, so the amount of water that basically disappears under the city wall is many, many times more than what spills out into Anashur's harbor. Some of it, at least, has been diverted by the city builders to basically run through the sewers. That was hundreds or thousands of years ago. Nobody knows when the sewer system was created. But that still doesn't account for all of the water that goes under the city. You don't know
Okay.
where the rest of it goes.
Cool. So I'd say no, not walking up to the main gate bold as brass, but as I recall, the last time we were in Sam Vilhane's good graces, I basically went around the entire wall from on the top because I was scoping.
Mm-hmm.
And did I see any section of that wall that would be less guarded at a particular time of day, or have a weak spot where we could either climb it or otherwise sneak in?
Nothing in particular, unless you wanted to, because I think as you noted when you scoped it out, the walls are more heavily the council district walls that face into the city are more heavily guarded than the exterior walls that face the wilderness. So,
Right.
I mean, as
We could
always,
leave out the city. Yeah.
as always, cover of darkness, right, is always a good concealer. But if you wanted to get in over a wall, the ones that face the wilderness are the least guarded.
Also, remember that you do have
Cool.
that potion of invisibility.
Yes. I think we each have one, which is nice.
One too, yeah.
It's a 3
Yeah.
total, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could exit out of the city gate, as in the overall city wall, and just hug the city wall and then climb up over it into council district.
Is that going to be the
So
plan?
we might want to wait. We might want to wait a few hours and do that at night. Since you said it's afternoon, right?
So yeah, you guys could spend the rest of the day training and then do a night mission if you want.
Yeah.
Do that.
Exactly. And potentially like stuff our bag of holding full of food if we are in there.
Can I get a trainer to stand on top of the walls outside of the slacks and yell down instructions to me?
Can who stand on what?
Can I get an instructor or someone to train with who will like stand on the walls that I'm not allowed to be inside of, and then we can like yell music up to each other?
No, it's essentially you need a bard who is a higher level than you.
Oh, those are hard to find right now.
Yeah.
True.
Fine, I'll train by myself.
Okay.
Ooh, just had a thought. There is also maybe before we go under cover of darkness to try and get into the council district, we could also still be talking to people outside of it, as in just get the lay of the land of the civilians who live right outside of the walls.
So that'll be an afternoon. So if you want to do that, that's going to take place of the training. So is anybody going to do that?
So like I might do that, but you guys can
Vera?
do your own thing.
Okay, so Vera, you're spending the afternoon in that district. Okay.
I'm canvassing.
For fun, give me a D12.
Me? Oh, okay. When you say fun,
I mean my fun.
cool. I know. 5.
Okay. All right. So you're going to spend the day asking people for essentially information on how you might get in, or I mean, maybe not necessarily.
No, I'm trying to gauge the feeling of the city and basically be spreading the word that in 5 days we're doomed. So pick a side now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna have you make some rolls at the beginning of next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're not deception because that's true.
Okay. Duly noted. All right. Good. When we pick up next time, we'll make a couple of rolls and then we'll kind of skip forward to a journey into the wilderness briefly to then try and invade the council district from outside. All righty. Good. We'll go ahead and end there.
Nice.
Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. JD, correct me if I'm wrong. There are no shows at all next week, correct? Jam said something about this a while ago. Is that correct?
Week of the 18th.
The week of the 18th. Isn't that next week?
Nope, week after.
Oh, the week after. Great. Okay, cool. Then I think we will run something next week. Hopefully it gets worse. Cool. Things I'm supposed to say. Great. Okay. We hope to see you again next Friday as it gets even worse. In the meantime, Becca and crew are still playing Call of Cthulhu Horror on the Orient Express at 6:30 on Mondays. We invite you to follow and subscribe to our Twitch and YouTube channels or visit our website at iconicproduction.wordpress.com. We also now have merch on Redbubble. If you go to Redbubble and type in Iconic Product, we have lots of cool things. And for every 10 people viewing our shows, we add more. Also, check out my friend Alex's YouTube channel, The Modular DM, where he, quote, makes everything from dungeons to taverns that can fit into just about any campaign or setting. I do the hard work so that you don't have to. He's got 4 up right now. There's like a UNT dungeon. There's a pirate tavern with secret tunnels. There's a shop. It's really cool stuff. And thank you all for your support. Until next week, we hope you stay happy, healthy, and safe. Have a lovely night.